Good evening and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I want to thank you so much for joining me here tonight, wherever you are in the past, present, future hour. And big shout out and big thanks to Bruce City Synth for making the intro there. So anyway, contact info as usual. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram for now at SamDeBeer_NDC, hashtag Whitfield Report, Minds and Gab and Parlor at Sam Whitfield, Facebook.com/Whitfield Report, thesamwhitfield.com. The podcast is on Spotify, iTunes, wherever else. And someone said I'm echoing. I'm trying to fix the recorder thing real quick. Okay.
While you're fixing that, I'll just introduce us real quick. Here on Versus Me as always, Real News. Phil and Alex joining as always. Alex is going to be drinking the stuff tonight, and we're going to be going down a Rumble rabbit hole and talking about alternative tech because Phil has been going all in on Gab, so we'll have a good rapport on that, and I think we should rank these alternatives and compare and contrast them if we can get any of them to fucking work right now. Mm-hmm. But we'll do that. We'll have some fun, pretty laid back, but we'll be talking about the election a little bit and aftermath probably at some point, but that's our shit for tonight.
Alright, is the thing working now? Is there an echo on my end? Chat?
Hmm? I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I'm
hearing I think there's a difference between. I think I know X was saying, and there might have been a difference between the chat system that we use and the video itself. Like I don't know.
Yeah, there definitely is a different output from what the stream is getting. Okay, it's worse. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed with when Phil is speaking, there's no echo with him.
Okay.
Of course, I have a.
Should be good now.
Mic.
I just turned my mic all the way down on OBS. So.
Mm-hmm.
What might be happening is, what are your, as we do some impromptu troubleshooting here, under your audio mic, or actually your sources, what are your sources listed on OBS?
My sources are desktop audio and then the USB mic I'm using, but it's also
yeah, that's it. Yeah, when you duplicate it like that, because we were running into that issue when we were streaming on election night, I think it's when you do or do not have the desktop audio, it screws it all up.
Okay,
on mine,
yeah.
I have audio input and output.
Someone said it's fixed, so that's good. Yeah, the reason why I'm recording the audio with this program I'm using is because YouTube, if I wait for YouTube to process, I won't get the audio podcast up until Monday or Tuesday. That's what they're doing now. They're holding my streams hostage for processing, quote unquote, indefinitely. But looks like we've got that fixed now.
We know who's doing it.
Yep. Good old mommy Susan Wojcicki.
Yeah, it's pretty bad just seeing how. I mean, that reminds me of something I saw today. Just how bad the censorship is further going with, there's little shit like the processing, but even on Pinterest, they are saying that they haven't banned Trump from there. I mean, didn't know he fucking had a Pinterest to look at, wedding gifts or anything like that, but they are literally censoring Trump, pro-Trump, Trump-related hashtags on there, and
Mm-hmm.
openly admitting it, that that's what they're doing. Project Veritas uncovered this years ago, where they saw that a bunch of pro-life terminology and content was getting basically shadow banned, and there's no big tech bias against conservatives apparently.
Nope.
So you're seeing more of it.
None whatsoever.
But we've all been playing with the alternatives because we have to. And actually, it reminded me of some news. D Live, I should pull it actually up. They made a post today on their blog where they made one of their biggest moves to censor people since they banned Alex Jones, which is they're just flat out because of the Capitol riots, they're saying that they will be suspending indefinitely the following accounts: Nicholas J. Fuentes, Baked Alaska, Murder the Media, Woos, GloomTube, Lols, and Zykotic.
Yep.
And they're going to be gone. And they're losing their money, too, which is, I think, what's even crazier. It says, on January 6th, the following channels were found to be inciting violence and illegal activities and was suspended indefinitely with their lemon balances frozen. The lemons is like their cryptocurrency thing. Lemons donated on or after the January 2021 to suspend channels be refunded to donors over the next 14 business days. Pretty brutal. And Nick complained on Twitter about this because he didn't violate the terms of services, but we'll see what happens with him. Baked Alaska's in jail, so it doesn't matter. What did you say? Did you say something about Baked?
No, I was just scoffing.
Yeah, I heard two different scoffs. That's why I thought I heard somebody trying to say something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go. D Live is, I mean, we were even saying this yesterday. It's like, it's a little complicated because they're probably not going to be safe, but they're better than Twitch. This confirmed today that they're going down fast.
Well, and then I got into an argument right before the show with a mutual friend of ours who's just like, all you need to do is not violate the YouTube terms of service, Sam, and you'll be good.
No.
And it's like,
That guy's a fucking pussy.
and it's like, no, that's not
that
the
dude really
point.
is a pussy.
If he fucking blocked me, I didn't know who the fuck he is. But I just looked at the account, I was like, oh, I'm blocked.
He means well, but
no, he's a fucking
No, he
pussy.
doesn't.
He
No, he
is a
doesn't.
fucking pussy. Fuck him. Fuck him. He's a fucking pussy. Why do you fucking block people? You're blocking people on Twitter. Like I didn't think I ever talked to this guy.
Yeah, well,
No. I mean,
that's what happens when you come out. That's what happens when you turn SJW. And
Like
go to
I don't even know
college.
who the fuck he is. I don't even know how. Like he fucking blocked me. I was looking like I don't think I ever talked to him.
Yeah.
I mean, these are I don't know. He blocked. Well, I mean, he blocked me. I'm pretty sure. It was because I said so. I was in that shitty sociology class that he's in, and I'm pretty sure I said something on the Twitter on when I was still on Twitter that probably rubbed him the wrong way. Whatever, he can go fuck his mother. I'm like, look, you're like, oh, we just follow their terms of service, but the terms of service keep changing every couple months. It's always vague terminology that keeps. I mean, it's always moving the goalposts, and it's just it's a pain in the fucking dick. But I'll say this: the only thing I will say though is about that is not that not that Jeff is right or anything, but we knew that this shit was coming. Like you talk
Yeah.
about Parler, right? Parler, like AWS just fucking is about to take them off the fucking scene,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And I blame a large chunk of the blame. I blame on Parler, and I'm not. And it's like yes, and yeah, of course they shouldn't be. These businesses shouldn't be censoring and all that shit or whatever. But here's the thing.
They are.
Parler ran off of being an anti-Twitter, right? They ran on privacy. They ran on being the anti-Twitter. They ran on not censoring conservatives. That they ran on that fucking platform. Now you knew that this was the road that was going down. Why? Because they did it to a whole lot of other people, right? They did it to Alex Jones. They did it to Laura Loomer, right? They did all these people, right? And so you knew that either if you didn't know that this shit was coming, you're the dumbest motherfucker walking God's green earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You knew this was coming. And what did you do? You signed your shit on AWS. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, in the excuse is that server hosting is really expensive to host your own, so that's why they went with AWS. But that's not a good excuse.
What I'm saying. No, it's not a good excuse. It's a terrible one. You got to build your fucking. If you're going to have a business model like the one that Parler has been running its mouth on for God knows how long, you need to have preparations in place for that business, a successful business, a truly successful business. And we don't even need. Let's not just look at Parler, right? Let's not look at just a business, right? If you're going to run off of whatever you're going to fucking run off, whatever platform you think you're going to run on, right? Whatever you run on, you need to have preparations, the right preparations for whatever comes your way, whatever you know is coming your way. And they didn't do it, right? This is not going to be it. What's up, Alex?
You know what's funny with Parler? You would think if they're using AWS, they would have had a lot less lag and server issues before this happened. But they fucking didn't. They're worse than Gab, and Gab is doing that shit themselves. The whole point of using cloud is to go and like easily scale it up and meet demand. Right. But they somehow fucked it up both ways. Like they're run by a bunch of like monkeys with business suits on, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, okay. So here's let me just go through some shit here real quick. All right. So the CEO. So we'll go over it like on Parlay. The CEO, John Matz. I'm gonna read his fucking parlay because you got to like I got a bone to pick with this guy, right? That's what they call him.
I know.
Weird fucks. Anyway, so tomorrow at midnight, Amazon will be shutting off all of our servers in an attempt to completely remove free speech from the internet. There is the possibility that Parler will be unavailable on the internet for up to a week as we rebuild from scratch. We infrastructure and building bare metal products. What the fuck does that matter? You put your shit on AWS. It doesn't matter what proprietary infrastructure you're running on. You're still putting that shit on AWS, you dumb fuck. And okay, anyway. I'm going Tourette syndrome here, out of anger. Let's see here. We will try our best to move to a new provider right now. I swear to God, I'm losing my shit right now. as we
I
have
know,
many
it is
as
mind-numbing
we
with
have
them.
as we have many competitors for our business. However, Amazon, Google, and Apple purposefully did this as a coordinated effort, knowing that our options would be limited and knowing that this would inflict the most damage right as Trump was banned from the tech companies. You knew this shit was fucking coming. And if you didn't, you're a dumb motherfucker. I'm sorry. You're stupid as fuck.
You know,
It's like, oh, so you're gonna look for a new provider now? What the fuck is wrong with you? Build your shit. Do what Gab did. Build from scratch, so you don't have to worry about that stupid shit, right? Yes, is it more expensive? Yes, but guess what? You're the one that created this fucking business model, right? You're the one that did this. So these are the preparations that you make if you want to exist as a business. All right? Fuck. Like how are these people even business people? Like this is just baffling to me.
Well,
Like, these people are fucking.
I don't think the John Mitzi guy is. That's the whole thing.
oh, what the fuck is he doing?
What the fuck is he doing running a business? Oh, I'm not a businessman. Well, what the fuck are you doing as a CEO?
I have one word, and it begins with a G. Rhymes with drifter.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't. I don't think it's so much grifting as much as it is just poor
Well,
business.
here's
It's poor business.
from
It's poor business.
yeah. Well, from what I gathered from his profile and whatnot, and just reading what I have about him, he seems to think that like he's a conservative like Steve Jobs or something
give
like
me a break.
like
Oh, so he has delusions of fucking grandeur, basically.
like
So
yeah.
not only is he a shitty businessman, now he has delusions of grandeur. That's nice.
You're a fucking
Yeah.
insane person. As
he's literally crazy person. Okay, got it.
And they said Torba from Gab is crazy. You know what? I think we know who the real crazy is now. And to confirm what you said, Phil, because you said Amazon's going to boot them, and but I don't know if you've seen this. That's not just like us speaking as if like we know what's going to happen, but it's not official yet. No, it's official. Amazon has said they're booting Parler off on Sunday, which is an hour and 15 minutes away.
Yep.
So it says Amazon's suspension of Parler goes into effect on Sunday. In an email obtained by BuzzFeed News, yeah, BuzzFeed's actually right on this shit for once. Amazon's trust and safety team told Parler that Amazon is unconvinced the platform's plan to use volunteers and moderate violent speech will be effective. So Parler's dead.
So what the fuck? Okay, well, real quick, like, what do they expect? Like, you know, like
they don't
honestly,
expect
like,
anything. I'm telling you, my conspiracy brain is spinning.
This is straight collusion at this point.
Yes.
Because the only people that can afford to have these algorithms are fucking Amazon and Google. You know,
and even those algorithms aren't perfect, as we all know. So you're holding them to again, it's an uneven playing field. It's not the same standard. And I can't. I mean, Phil vented it better than I could have. I mean, the Parler CEO is an idiot. If he did not think that being on Amazon's AWS, if he didn't think that was a bad idea, he shouldn't be qualified in any way for us as conservatives to use his platform. We shouldn't give him that privilege. Frankly, I'm considering deleting my account just because of stupidity, but it's not going to matter because everything's going to be gone in a couple of hours. So, Gab's it. Gab's the future. I will say, Gab, as flawed as there are with some things, I think those flaws are going to be evened out. And honestly, Torba has the best business platform.
Gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
At least Andrew gets it. Like, at least people can work with people that get it, right? You know, you have that, and it's like a business, right? You're running a business. Okay, maybe you're not. Maybe you don't have the resources that you maybe should to be competing with somebody else. But if you see somebody and they're running a business and they get it, like they just intuitively fucking get it, you could work with that. Like I could be like, oh, well, that's nothing. We could fundraise. You could take on investment money. You could do like, there's ways you can work with that. Like there's ways you could work with that. I can't work with the fucking Parler CEO. He's a fucking idiot. and he has
Yeah.
delusions of grandeur. I can't work with that shit. Okay, like he's failing. His business is going to fail, and it deserves to fucking fail. Right? I'm
Second.
sorry. And not only that, um, you had the money. How much money was pouring in Parlor? Right?
Dude.
It was a sick amount of money that was poured into Parlor.
Yeah.
And they didn't do shit. Like we're like they didn't do shit. They didn't make the fucking the needed shit that was required to do their things, right? Like it's so baffling. It's so baffling how bad this thing was run. And I really didn't want to. And I was thinking this for a while, but I didn't really want to. I didn't want to say it because I was like, oh well. I was trying to be hopeful. I was like, look, maybe these guys have a plan. But looking at this last fucking parlay, I'm like, this dude had no plan. Like this was it. This was it, and there was no plan. Like I'm like, you guys are fucking morons and deserve to lose your business and be poor for the rest of your life. I just like no, I know that's anger, okay, not anger, but like just
I won't disavow.
petty it's petty rambling, but still, it's like look, you know what's at stake, right?
Yeah.
You know what's at stake, and this is the kind of fucking business model you're pumping. Like, there's an anger because there's so many people. Like we have so many friends that are being censored. We have so many people that are just like they have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to fucking go outside of contacting us personally. And like, and here you sell you have this fucking snake oil job. You sell this snake oil website that you're like, oh, this is gonna be the anti-Twitter, right? And you run it on the fucking the evil empire. Like it just baffles me to no end. Please, somebody like tell me I'm wrong or tell me something. Give me something. Nah, fuck it. Let's go. Let's do it.
We had callers in a long
If you go to our channel, you can find the link in the descriptions there or on the top of the channel. Just look up Versa Media. By the time I find it, you can probably have been there in half the time.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So now that Parlor is an utter failure, right? Now everybody and their fucking mother is going to Gab, right? And now I can barely get on Gab right now because again, everybody and their fucking mother is going on this website. Like the viewership the viewership of the website has gone up in the last week. I think it's gone up like 800% or some shit like that.
Yeah, it was 753 to be exact.
Nuts. Fucking nuts, right? And of course today it probably went up even higher. Yeah, I mean, just be patient. Look, go on Gab, try to sign up if you can, try to do your thing if you can. Be patient, okay? Because it'll get better. It was good. It was good when I was originally on there. It's slow right now because look, they've got 10 servers that they're trying to build into their system, right? In addition to what they have already. Just be patient, okay? We'll get there. But at least Andrew has some sort of idea what the fuck he's doing, even if he does have some sort of weirdness in what he says. Like he's at least a good guy. He's at least means well, and like he has some sort of idea what he's doing. Like, and he's adaptable
love
too.
how-
And he's certainly adaptable too. Like, how many times has this guy had to adapt his shit over the years? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think at this point it's clear that Gab is the best because look, Parler's saying their CEO's like, oh yeah, we're gonna now self-host. It's like, dude, like, yeah, you can do that. That's great, but I mean, like Phil said, that shows that you're not qualified to lead the alt tech platform for conservatives. It deserves to be Gab. It really
Yeah.
does. And I love how BuzzFeed starts off this article about this. They said Amazon Saturday kicked Parler off its web hosting service. Parler, a social network fed by conservative politicians and extremists, was used to help plan and coordinate the January 6th attempted coup on
I
Washington,
bet there's
D.C.
fucking Facebook groups that used to do that too.
Yeah,
I know.
And this is another thing, right? Because I just started going on. Obviously, I just started going on Gab, and I will say this: I've met more racists and white supremacists and all that shit on my last day of Twitter than in the first week that I've been on Gab. Right, this first week in total, I don't think I've really met anybody. Like I haven't even seen any racist or even weird the weird shit. Now, for the old Gab was kind of kooky, but like
Yeah.
what I'm seeing now is a completely different. It's a completely different platform, and I'm not seeing anything. Do I see some weird shit? Maybe, but like I don't see anything like off, like racist off, or like white supremacy, or like anti-Semite or anything like that. I don't see anything like that on that site. I saw more on Twitter than I did on Gab.
Well,
So
that brings up a good point though. There's a fucking double standard when it comes to these websites. Like, probably they fucking Facebook Live like mosque shootings and stuff. You didn't see that shit on Gab. But Facebook gets a pass because they're we're Facebook. Everyone goes on here. But
look, if we're gonna apply the standard fairly, since Parler's getting shut down because it was used by a small portion of its user base to coordinate a quote-unquote coup that didn't happen, it should be shut down. Okay, well then Facebook should be shut down then.
Yeah.
It was
like,
used
look who went
to
there.
coordinate other shit. Like Boogaloo Boys are supposed to be on Facebook.
Way more boomers on there.
No, I was saying Boogaloo Boys, but yeah, boomers too.
Who's over there? The most of them are fucking boomers. And
Yeah.
I know.
The fucking grandma.
But my point is,
I'm sure she was on
how these things are normally treated is, okay, if you, let's say, incite violence, they don't shut down the whole fucking platform. They just shut down you. They just shut down your group if your group's inciting violence. But the standard now is, if you're a smaller platform with people on the right and one person incites violence, the whole platform's gone. That's the standard now. But if you're a big company that's a left-wing echo chamber, that's a Fortune 500, on the stock market, blah, 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 you're fine. You get a pass. It's okay if people threaten violence. Or just remove the users in the groups, which is the fairest thing in the world, but can't do that to you. And Gab even tweeted out about the, Amazon cutting its ties with Parler, and they said you can't get banned from Amazon when you own your own servers like we do. It's not just, quote, build your own social network. It's build your own hosting service, payment processor, app store, web browser, email service, e-commerce platform. So that's exactly what we did. And they're doing something else I want to mention too. I just found... where'd it go? Lose it? Oh, here it is. They sent this out just a couple... There we go. They said, stay tuned for order information on Gab phone. So you can now, at some point, order
Gab
a
phone.
Gab phone.
Oh, I would love that shit. Fuck Apple, fuck Android, go Gab.
I mean,
Here's the thing, though. And I don't know this, but it's just some question I'm going to ask. can the cell phone companies like Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, can they just say we can't have your phone on our cell network?
Well,
I
you
don't
can't.
think
No, because that's
no,
a utility.
yeah,
That
that's
falls under like utility laws and shit. Like you
well,
can't just
even
like
then they're not going to care. Like the only reason that certain phones, they used to have like it locked to certain providers, that was done by the operating system itself and the device like itself. It locked it out. Like if the device like it. You can have a fucking flip phone on there for all Verizon cares, They're I don't think they're gonna do anything against. And even then they have fucking Patriot Mobile,
Patriot Mobile.
I keep seeing ads for this all the time on like Salem Radio
that-
Network.
That sounds like some like fucking poor people's cell phone.
Well, at least like it's a conservative alternative to app like to T-Mobile and like Verizon. It's fucking something.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this Gab phone is. I mean, I'll be honest though, like, how the fuck are they gonna do that?
It's probably gonna be they're gonna buy probably like a fucking cheap like fucking Huawei or something like a cheap ass phone.
Let's buy some Chinese spyware. Great.
Well, yeah, and then they're gonna throw their own operating system on there. Like you can build those. Like I think Android's open source, so you could like change a couple things. And be like, oh.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like it's gonna be some. Like, the OS will be some version of Android, but what about the actual hardware? Because you need a processing manufacturer. You need. China. Yeah, but who are they gonna get?
Fucking probably Huawei, man. It's probably gonna be that. Like, I mean, honestly, there's so much like fucking random ass like Chinese knockoff phones. Like, go for it.
They'll just go with Foxconn like everyone else does.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but the problem is the processors. That to me is the ultimate problem. I mean, Apple isn't even. I don't know if their phones are proprietary yet, because for the longest time they were using Samsung. As funny as it sounds.
Well, the processor you can buy that from like who does that? Qualcomm or whatever.
Yeah,
directly from there, or like some Chinese or like Asian company. They're not gonna get. They're not this like woke culture. They probably won't give a shit.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying
like,
it's.
What I know of like my Asian friends, they really probably don't give a shit about this woke culture.
No, I know. I'm looking at it from all angles, just because I'm wondering how this is going to work.
Let's not bullshit each other either. Okay, look, there's no blueprint for this shit. Okay, this roller coaster that Andrew's on, there's no roller coaster for that shit. Okay, he's going to be trying a whole bunch of stuff, and he's probably going to fail on a lot of it. But hey, some of it's going to work. All right, that's just it.
Yeah, trust the plan, as the Q people say.
Well, no, I mean, it's look, anything business wise, right? Any successful business, right? They're gonna try shit, okay? They're gonna research, they're gonna develop, they're gonna try shit, okay? Now, what you do with it is completely up to you, okay? And how you use what you have is going to determine what's viewed as a success or a failure. But you're going to try stuff, and a lot of the time you're going to fucking fail. So that there's like, and this is one of those things this shit, what's great about this show? We're not only do we talk about the fucking, talk about the news, you talk about all this stuff, but there's like a learning lessons, okay, that we kind of give. Well, mostly me. But yeah.
Oh, how very egotistical of you, Phil.
Hey, everybody else chips in too, but like I'm saying, no, but I'm saying these are like anybody who looks at a company like this, oh my god, like if you're looking at a Gab phone or something like that, oh, this is gonna be a shitty idea, that's gonna bomb out.
You gotta fucking try somewhere, you gotta start somewhere.
You gotta try shit, and you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail on some of these things, right?
I think the idea is great, don't get me wrong. I'm just thinking of the execution. I'm just wondering how they're going to pull it off, because I think it should be tried. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm starting to think I think inevitably there has to be regulation, but for the short term till we get to that point, I think we're literally gonna have to build everything ourselves. Our own credit cards, our own banks, our own hosting services, our own websites, our own social media. It sounds crazy, and it's because it is crazy. Let's just keep that in mind. I don't want to live in this world like this,
Well,
but I'm afraid for the foreseeable future, we're literally going to be so divided, so ridiculously, insanely crazy that we're going to have to literally have leftist fucking credit cards and right wing credit cards.
well, here's
Like,
the
it's
thing.
really going to come to that.
You know, when the fucking liberal, like, if this shit takes off, we need to do the same fucking thing they did to us until they fucking regulate this shit.
Do it back. Yeah,
Yeah.
payback is a bitch.
Fuck them in the ass.
Yeah, I mean,
So what I'm saying is the gap phone needs to happen. I hope it succeeds. May not be the one that does succeed, but I think there will be a fucking conservative phone.
Well, the first one probably won't succeed. It's like a car, you know. The first fucking model, you know, it might not work so well, but the second and third one, it'll start iterating, and eventually, you know, it'd probably be better than a fucking iPhone, which isn't saying much because iPhones are stupid.
No, iPhones are awesome, dude.
Yeah, they're so awesome you can't even sideload apps.
Hey, the Play Store's blocking all these apps too.
Yeah, but I don't need to use the Play Store. I can just go to the website and download it.
Yeah, but that's like, I don't even know if Gab even offers that, but whatever. It's
Yes,
like,
they do. They
no,
do.
'cause I was on their site when I was looking for the Apple thing, and they were giving the same directions for Android. It was like basically pin a bookmark to your home screen. So,
they have an app. I had it on my old one. I haven't re-downloaded it since, but I know like they offered on their website.
Well, one thing they did have on their website they did try out today was their web browser. It's called Dissenter, and it's literally just a reskinned Brave browser. They even say that it's based off of the Brave browser platform, which is based off of Chromium, which is Google. So I don't know how that all works, but it's basically Brave, but a little bit different.
Yeah, I think Chromium's like the Chromium is at least open source, so they can't take them down with that. That's your best friend too. Like
open source. Yep.
Yeah. As much as like the hippies are like, oh man, open source, like they're fucking right because you know you don't have these corpos fucking you in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, look. Well, I mean, you look at it like Gab, like the current Gab model is a fork of Mastodon, and you know the Mastodon folks were like all pissed off that Gab like basically forked their shit, and well, that's what the fuck open source means, motherfucker, right? You know, hey. You didn't want if you didn't want them using your stuff for something other than your purpose. Hey, you shouldn't have made it open source, asshole. Anyway, yeah. So let me see here. I've been on Parler and I've been basically shitting on people. So yeah. I've been having a little bit of fun. I gotta be honest, because it definitely fits into my wonderful personality that y'all love so much.
Phil, are you?
Wow, it's working. When it's crashing, it's like, oh shit.
Phil,
I can't put my comeback in yet.
Phil, are you related to Sam Kinison by any chance?
No, but he is one of my favorite comedians. Absolutely fucking hilarious. And I don't care. I still laugh at his shit. Like what was the one fucking? There's one fucking stand up I watched. I was laughing like a motherfucker. I'm telling. Yeah.
I love Kinnison.
Yeah, me too. That makes two of us.
I mean, I've gotten into trouble for this, but I will never apologize. I still fucking love Louis C.K.
Oh yeah.
Too. His comedy, at least, not the other thing he's known for. So
yeah, no,
not a fan of that.
I mean,
not.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants. It's a free country. Well, actually, it's not a free country anymore. But you know, expressions.
Yeah, it's like when you mention our friend that we know. Like, I'm gonna reply to his tweets soon, but I told him, like, I posted that meme it's the libertarian like snake thing and the don't tread on me thing, but it has the fucking boot stomping on it with Facebook, Twitter, every like tech company like logo on it, and it says build your own internet. And I was telling him, like, dude, like, it's not a free market, because he was giving me the whole free market spiel, like, oh, the internet's endless, you can like make your own. Like, no, yes, you can, but it's not the same. Like, there's a clear oligopoly hold on everything when it's like, oh, Trump's banned from Twitter. Just make your own Twitter. You make your own Twitter. Oh, Gab's banned from the App Store. Okay, make your own App Store. Is that the fucking thing next? It's like, it's an endless cycle. And my whole with this, because in theory, you can build your own internet. As silly as it sounds, yes, you can do it. But the problem is, you're not a part of the conversation. There are two different there's no public square. It's like a left-wing square and a right-wing square. It's so destructive to not just free speech, but for like solving issues, having conversations. You can't talk to somebody else because they're in the left-wing square and you're in the right-wing square, so you guys can't talk. That's what it comes down to. There's no discourse. There's no conversation. It's so antithetical of the point of free speech.
So with that, okay, you can make so there's caveats to that argument, right? Like saying, oh well, the free market. Yes, you make good arguments, but however, okay, part of this is like I was on Parler, and Will Witt decided to make his he made a little video like, why don't you just create your own social media? Which so his thing was, well, you can't really do it. I mean, look at Microsoft. They had hundreds of millions of dollars, and they tried to create Bing to be the competitive competition to Google. And I'm like, look, okay, so that's a shitty argument because, okay, one, you need people that know what the hell they're doing, right? When it comes to search engines and shit like that, text shit like that, like from in that instance, right? So you need the right people in charge of that sort of thing if you're going to do that sort of thing. And two, Sean, you're an you're a marketing major. You have to have this thing called differentiation, right? Mm-hmm. So with your products, whatever product you make, if you're going to create a competitor, you need differentiation. Like you need something in your product that stands out over something else, because if your shit is the exact same shit as something else and they're already using that other product, guess what? They're going to still use that same fucking product, right? You need something that separates it. Like, okay, so Bing was a fucking failure, right? Bing is a fucking failure because they made it and they tried to just make it as Google. Like they tried to just make it as Google, kind of the same model, kind of the same search engine, pretty much, which was doomed to fail because, well, a lot of people were already on Google. You needed a differentiation factor for people to actually leave the fucking website, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas DuckDuckGo is a success, right? It's a search engine and it's successful. Why? Because they have differentiation. Their differentiation is they're private. Their privacy, right? Their security and their privacy, right? They're more secure and they're more private, right? That's what they sell. Now, look. Okay, whether they actually are or not, okay, we can have that discussion too. However,
like 1% of the market share.
Exactly.
Right.
Google is 99%.
Right, but they're successful and they're growing, right? They're successful and they're growing. That's what you do.
Disagree.
No, I agree. They are actually growing. Like I've seen advertisements. I've talked to coworkers.
Yeah, they're
growing, but they're still how much of the marketplace?
It doesn't matter. Look. But I'm saying, look.
I believe Google's a fucking monopoly.
Look, in
I think the next best thing until
I think you're missing the point, Sean.
these corporate
Okay,
camps, you know.
Bing put all this money in, and they lost market share. So they're a failure. DuckDuckGo started out with a good idea, with differentiation, and they're growing, right? But I'm saying you can't just create a copy of something else and then just expect it to be fucking successful.
Well,
Like that's not
that's
not how the market works.
Well, here's another thing too that is kind of driving me crazy about this whole thing is
Right.
people like, oh, it's a social network for conservatives, or oh, it's a social network for liberals. It's like, no, make a social network for fucking everyone. Like,
Right.
Yeah, but look, that's not reality.
No,
Here's reality.
No, I know
that.
Will you put a lion into an elk's cage? No, because one will just start beating the shit out of the other one.
That's a terrible analogy for this, because the point of Twitter and what made it so great and why it's such a big issue is that you could have those fights. That's what was awesome, is that you had the left and the right fighting, debating. Now it's just echo chambers. It's boring. It sucks. And that's what's going to happen to Gab. It's going to get boring real quick. Look, you say Bing's a failure. Well, let me throw something at you here. As of September 2020, Bing has a higher percentage of the market share than DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo has 0.5% of the market. Bing has almost 3%. Google has 92%.
Like, again,
on every Windows machine, if you want to
I can't hear you, do you? What?
On every Windows machine, if you want to do a search, it uses fucking Bing. And you can't change
by default.
Yeah, by default, and then by default with all of their with Internet or Explorer, whatever.
Yeah, that's what I good point out. That's what I was trying. That's kind of what I was trying to say. Like most of their market share was kind of like forcefully manufactured, whereas
DuckDuckGo, the thing. People still use Google overwhelmingly. That's the power of these monopolies.
Yeah,
I think DuckDuckGo is it's got a niche. It's a success for its niche, which is these super privacy conscious people. Beyond that, that's it.
But that's differentiation. But that's exactly what I'm talking. That's differentiation.
Yes.
Like if you're going to create another product, that's differentiation.
I agree. I totally agree. But this is a big but. Social media is a different sphere.
Yeah.
And the differentiation is a huge part of it. Look at TikTok. I mean, it's technically a copy of freaking what's it called?
I know what you're thinking of, like that.
Yeah. Vine. It's basically Vine, but Vine didn't exist. So
if you want to change now, so if you want to create another the real problem with now, I'm not saying that the Google thing, the Google and Amazon shit isn't a problem. The bigger problem is that there are other businesses that are tied into that particular business that are basically either shielding their financials, or they're placing financial cover to keep them from really failing. Look at Amazon, right? Amazon itself is actually operating at a loss. Like the actual Amazon program, like the whole marketplace is actually operating at a loss. Here's the thing. AWS is making a fucking killing, right?
Pandemic, I might agree with you.
Right. So it's starting to make money, and it's making money now. But I'm saying up until this point, it was actually at a loss. But the problem is AWS is making a fucking killing, right? And so they can stay on at a loss, and Amazon will be like, whatever, because eventually they could wait out the rest of the competition, and then eventually just they'll basically drown out the competition and then pick the bones. That's that's the game that they play. That's the unfair game. That's the real unfair game that they're playing.
Well,
but
Well, here's what we really need to know about TikTok, though.
Well, here's a
TikTok is gay.
Hey, I saw that in the chat. Johnny Arcade,
Well-
you fucking nailed it.
Well, I think the differentiation between TikTok and whatever the fuck the other one was,
Vine.
and Vine, is that the Chinese government is most likely propping up TikTok right now.
Mhm.
Yep.
You know,
Well, yeah, but here's my point of TikTok, because I think you guys are missing the point a bit, is that TikTok offered something different. We technically already had it before, but it filled kind of like a need that we didn't realize we had, which was like a new Vine. And so, yeah, the differentiation worked. What's different about Gab and Twitter? Yeah,
Well, if it fills a need in allowing people who don't have a voice to actually speak somewhere.
that is true. That is true. In terms of features and functionality, technically nothing different. I mean, technical in terms of like, it's not doing anything that anybody else isn't already doing. The one thing it is doing is it's pulling all that together. It's got the payment platform, it's got Gab TV, it's got obviously the Twitter-esque features, functionality of it. So that is what it is, and it's filling a need of like a place for conservatives to be. So that is true. Is it going to be successful, and is it successful? Technically, yes, in that regard. And the same as DuckDuckGo, because I do get what you're saying, Phil, which is that DuckDuckGo, for what it is successful. But, and this is the big but I have to bring up, because it's social media is different, is that Gab is successful for what it is, but it is not successful and probably never will be for what it needs to be. And what it needs to be is a public square. It is not a public square, it's an echo chamber. And that's the problem with social media. That is the inevitable roadblock. Unless you get people from the left and your grandmother and your father and your son all to move on and have their accounts on Gab too and have reporters on there and CNN, then when that happens, I'll say they did it. They did the impossible. But right now, they're nowhere near that. Not saying they can't reach that, but it's very unlikely. And that's the problem. I love it. I'll use it while I can. But how you going to sell, if you're conservative, how you going to sell books? How you going to do anything? How you going to grow? How you going to get new people? Like, I mean, honestly, it sounds archaic, but I know Milo's been floating the idea. I think I go back to fucking paper, embrace tradition,
You
put
know,
posters up.
To sell books, you could just go and make that. Like, that's probably easier to do on the fucking internet than it is on paper. You wanna go
Well, and this is what Milo's biggest problem is that, yeah, he can sell books, like he can self-publish, put them on Amazon, put them on anywhere. No problems with that. Marketing it, selling it, can't do it. Can't do it without Facebook or Twitter. You cannot do it today.
The thing is, if Gab does get popular with the right, that actually probably be the perfect audience.
It can be because you have your target market there, but the problem again is growth. Yeah, you're going to grow with the people that are already right wing, but the beauty with Twitter and all these other platforms is that you get, again, the normie. I always bring up the normies. They are the people you really you need to grow. The people that don't give a shit about Gab, don't give a shit about the right, will see shit and grow. What's going to happen is that everybody that's young, that doesn't know what Gab is, that isn't a conservative, they're going to go to Twitter, get brainwashed. It's like the universities almost. You go there, you get brainwashed. It's a freaking just big barrier to entry. It's like to enter the broader thinking like that. I go back to the public square thing because that's what's so sad, is that the public square on the internet is just dying so quickly before our eyes. It's really sad.
You go to 4chan, that's probably the most public square you have out there.
Let's be real, 4chan's a little edgy. It's not for everyone.
Well, it's a public square, it's the neighborhood dump.
Yeah, but it scares people away. It's the neighborhood dump.
Sir, it is true free speech, no registration. You can go over there. There's people on the left there, so really, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, I know. It's probably the only bastion of free speech left on the internet, honestly.
Yeah.
But I hope Gab gets better. I really do because goddamn Parlor sucks ass. So I'm all in on cheering for Gab, but oh man,
Parlor is
it's sad.
Parlor is since the chat is talking all things gay tonight, which
Parlor's gay. I mean, yeah, Parlor is gay.
yeah. Parlor is gay. So the people like Johnny who are also gay and Zero 2 should totally join it. So
Yo, somebody stole our idea. This is what Roger Stone said on Parlor, speaking of. The Ad America First Project are building a database list of Republicans who oppose the president. We'll be able to tell exactly where they are, and we will hold them responsible for their actions. Hey, Stuart Stevens, go fuck yourself, you tasteless, you talentless piece of human garbage. Why does your breath smell like Mitt Romney's cock?
Yeah, there you go.
Based. Oh god. I'm gonna fucking upvote that on Gab and Parlor if I can get either one of them to work. So somebody's making our list that we thought of.
I used to be Facebook friends with Mitt Romney's grandson.
Oh, he sounds like a piece of shit.
Yeah. Picture the most snobby kid you can think of, and then amplify it.
Yeah, it sounds like a CR, like, in the growing.
Yeah. Dude, Roger Stone's Parlor is fucking fire recently. So he has a picture of Reince Priebus. Do you remember him?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that cockwad.
Yeah, he's the guy that was like, I think, head of the RNC that Trump brought on as his staff for one point. So he has a picture of Reince Priebus like holding his fingers together, like as if he's like showing like an inch. And he says, in this photo, Reince Priebus indicates the exact size of his tiny penis. Reince Priebus is the rhino who pushed for the appointment of Rob Rosenstein, etc., etc. Oh my god, this is so funny. I love Roger. I'm gonna send this to you guys. I'll screenshot it.
Yeah, man, those cuck politicians, man, they need to go.
Get them out. I'm glad somebody's making the list, so that saves us some time, but we had it first, people.
Checking it twice, gonna see who's a cuck or nice.
Santa Trump is coming.
I mean, if Santa Trump could bring me Karen McDougal, that would be appreciated.
You think she was the best looking of his mistresses?
Oh, I mean, he had a ton. So there's actually
Trump was a Chad.
Yeah, he was a Chad before Chad. Also, I'm surprised I didn't get banned for this tweet a few weeks ago, but I actually got into a fucking argument with Cooper Hefner, Hugh's son, because he claimed that his dad never liked Trump. So I just spammed his Twitter account with like every photo of Hef and Trump together that I could find. So
yeah, Trump was probably taking all the ladies. I can see why he's probably pissed.
Yeah, he cucked Hefner. He's like, damn it, Trump's coming over. Not getting laid tonight.
Nope.
Oh my God. Dude, that must have been like terrible for fucking Hugh Hefner. Like being that old when your dick probably doesn't even work. Being around all these cute, like these sexy ladies. Like man, it was like fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Take a fucking car, like a tire pump for that shit. Like boom, boom, boom.
Bruh, our Pennsylvania senator, Pat Toomey says he thinks Trump, quote, committed impeachable offenses.
Dude, I think Pat Toomey's a piece of shit, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I think he's probably like, a Democrat in disguise. Like he's a fucking Decepticon.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm a tiny bit worried about the impeachment thing.
No,
I'm seeing a lot of
because
Republicans.
look, here's the thing, well, Mitt Romney pretty much killed it, right? He was like, well, the trial the trial can start on the 19th or something like that. He was saying that basically the impeachment proceedings can start at the earliest on the 19th of January. Well, what the fuck?
Wow.
Like, there's nothing. Why? Like, well, like that. There's no point.
That was Mitt
They
Romney.
thought that the fucking, they thought that was bad the other day. Like, they try an impeachment trial. What do you think's gonna happen?
Well, that's
Oh my
when we were talking about
God.
it. That's the point. The point, they were trying to piss people. They're trying to piss
Mhm.
people off. Like, no, but I mean, I don't know. No, I don't think anybody's like I don't think anybody outside of the wackos really give a fuck. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. You
well-
try to impeach Trump again, like there's gonna be like, and after all this
You want to
censorship,
talk about a coup?
yeah, like you want to talk about some stuff. There's be some like 1776 in the air at that point. It's gonna get bad. They try that stupid
Oh
shit.
yeah. Speaking of 1776, makes me think of our favorite patriot, Alex Jones. He did a video that we were watching last night. I think you weren't with us, was Phil,
did you
where he was interviewing. What was that?
did you see the video
Which
I
one?
did on that today?
I did not.
Yeah, I did a breakdown of that video actually.
Yes. Yeah, because what happened was, I give the guy credit, he can land interviews. Alex Jones interviewed the Q shaman, and he explained why he invaded the Capitol.
Mm.
Oh, 1 second.
Keep Sean. What the fuck, man? Like, we have the best crazy people.
Do you want to get mail? John, do you want to get mail?
Scott.
Daddy got the mail.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know.
Wanted one.
I
Sorry, I
fucked
muted
her
myself.
on his birthday. No. All right. Anyway.
I'll be back in a second. Just fill the dead air.
Oh shit.
This
Let's talk about that Q shaman. That guy was something, wasn't he?
This broadcast brought to you by Smooth Dead Air. Also, everyone in my chat, you're a bunch of fucking dicks, but I love you, all of you.
Let's see what that chat has to say. I like peach cobbler. Yeah. Oh no, that's you. Fuck. More mash. Oh, they're fucking things with their penis, I imagine. I mean, I don't imagine. Well, I guess I could go and, reverse butt fuck it.
Yeah. Welcome to my chat, guys. So,
I prefer using an apple, but only because what's all this about? They trying to go and find things to stick their dick into that isn't a human being.
well, I believe the lore is that he who shall not be named fucked an orange at one point.
Mm.
Oh, I thought that was. Didn't they do that in American Pie with like the pie?
They did. They did. I think.
Stuck their cock in the apple pie. What the fuck is this?
All right, boys and girls, I'm back. Sorry about that. Had an interruption there.
You didn't miss anything except for gay fruit talk.
Yeah, we're talking about some gay fruit over here.
Or just fruit talk in general, I guess.
I'm glad I was interrupted then. What'd you say, Alex?
I'll show you a fruit salad.
Yummy, yummy. What was that?
I hope you like your fruit salad tossed.
Oh, I gave you the caller privileges, Fat Keck Boy. Since we're in the chat show, though, do you guys want to move down the hotline?
Yeah, let's go on the hotline.
Yeah.
Who's yep.
All right, we're going into the hotline then, I guess. Uh,
Speaking of crazy,
Over the
if
fucking
you're here out there,
wall.
Gay Diggy, I miss you. Miss you, Gay Diggy.
Yes. Gay Diggy was a legend. But if anybody wants to join Discord and I'll make a caller. But anyway, we were watching an exclusive interview with Alex Jones and the Q Shaman. He was the guy with the fucking horns that infiltrated the Capitol. And dude, people say Alex is crazy. I don't care who you are, what you believe. But if you saw that interview and you knew nothing about Alex Jones, you would never think he was crazy. You would think Alex Jones is the most sane man in America. I think Alex Jones personally is the most red pill man in America, but this video was just funny because he's like interviewing this Q shaman and he's drilling him on Q. Because Alex, like many of us, has a brain and he thinks Q is the dumbest thing ever. And he was just going off. He's like, Q is so stupid. It's lies. All you're doing is lying. And you guys cost us the country. Like, he's just going off. And I feel him. And we found the Q Shaman's Rumble page. And we started going
oh
down
my
some rabbit
god.
holes. Yeah.
I
He
guess
does these videos where he'll take a bunch of images, put them on a fucking PowerPoint slide, and then because they don't fit perfectly, he does the most boomer thing, like elementary school thing ever, and he grabs the little grips on the sides and squeezes it in so it fits. He doesn't grab the corner so that's proportional and the image doesn't have a squished face. No. He takes it and he squeezes that bitch so it fits in nicely, and he uses the same images like 10 times, like on every slide. You'll see like the same like recurring motif. It's something else. He's crazy.
Oh, and that's not, well, honestly, after looking at Rebel, that he's not even the worst offender there. You know, there's a lot worse people. Like, people, not only will they just outright steal content from Fox or like Alex Jones or whatever, they will steal content and then they won't even record it properly. They'll take their camera to their fucking television screen and they record it.
Yeah, they'll take their phone. They won't turn it into landscape like, you're supposed to do, like how everything is filmed, like how movies are filmed. No, they keep it portrait and they film their screen. They're like shaking around and then they'll upload it and they'll make like $15 from some random clip that was done poorly.
well, that's not even the worst part of it. Like, fucking, they will literally like upload like Black Sabbath songs or ACD songs.
Yeah, we saw that.
Completely unaltered. Like, basically stealing the fucking things and making money off of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you pull that shit on YouTube, you get removed instantly.
Yeah, fucking Rumble, man, like, they're pretty bad. And then I love watching the boomers. So like, the ones who actually do make the original content, they're pretty funny to watch. Because it'll be like real news Patriot alert, so there'll be like a shitty alert sound. It'll just be them staring at the screen with like shit audio.
Yeah, I'll find that one. There was like this boomer that had like this siren. And he activated it. It was like woo woo woo.
I love some of that. But like the most money like videos out there are these like fucking like dogs and stuff. And there was like, oh, you have to find the one video like the guy who's the black guy in the wheelchair. You know, he's shown. You know, Sam needs to go and make a comeback, an epic dance off with this guy.
Yeah, there was a guy like he was like I'm telling you, he had some mad moves there. He was in his wheelchair and he's like doing a 360, like a 180, and then he's like waving his arms like disco style. Like he's having a party there in his like wheelchair with some chick like dancing with her. I'm like, what a player! Like, look at this guy go. Like, look, nothing against the platform. It's just the people on there are something else. Let's see if we can find it. I'm getting three-legged Pitbull gets a wheelchair.
Go to maybe I can look in my history.
Yeah, you gotta find that shit. Here's the one that was with the freaking like the boomer siren. Oh, I got. Oh yeah, I got to turn on the audio for this because like you guys can't hear, but the people on the stream will be able to hear this. It's something. It is just. It's amazing. Here you go. It's breaking news alert. I posted in chat for you guys to listen in on it, but yeah, it's fun. What were some of the other ones that you found, Alex?
Well, there was some weird fart ones. There was some like what was the anime one? Somebody made a Donald Trump anime.
Yeah, there was some anime on there.
Of course, someone made a fucking Trump anime.
QAnon there's a bunch of QAnon stuff.
Oh God!
If I have to see one more thing of QAnon, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
they just
so
stole
I
an
was like
OAN news
Alex.
brief. They had like a bunch of these advertisements with fucking like it'll be basically fucking web ads, and they'll just put that as the whole video. Single images with no audio as a full video. Like what the fuck? Was this one Patriots?
Oh, remember those ones where it wouldn't even be the full screen. It would be like this small shit.
Yeah, fucking American Patriots have responded. No, they haven't. You're a fucking boomer.
No, remember the ones too where it was like they would screen record clips and then upload it, and they would screen record it in portrait mode too.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Sam, you love Q, don't you?
QAnon gives me a hard on. I see Mr. Q over here. Someone should make like a fucking like fan fiction with QAnon.
A QAnon fanfiction.
Yes.
You know
Democrat blues. I'm trying to go and find it. This elderly lady proves that age is just a number. I think it was the next. Oh, I found it. I think I found the wheelchair one. Yeah, I'm going to post this in chat.
Yep, here's one. I found one. Here's a perfect example of one where they screen record a video. It looks like a Facebook video, and then they just post it on here. And it's recorded in portrait, not in landscape.
I used to do that until I was probably shamed out of doing it. So
I mean, it's a good thing. It's like like if you get bullied for like shitting your pants, it's probably good that you don't shit your pants anymore.
Oh, you're talking about Caitlin Bennett?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, she probably learned after that. To be fair, hey, maybe I shouldn't be shitting my pants when I go talk about free speech. Or whatever the fuck she does, or like
you mean gun rights?
Yeah, didn't she like marry to like a ex-gay guy or something?
Wait, what?
I heard some stories. I don't know how true this is, but
I know she's married, but I didn't know it was an ex-gay guy.
I heard he was like one of those people who went to like one of those electroshocky camps, and apparently he's cured.
What?
I don't know. It's like a reformed homosexual, apparently.
A reformed homosexual?
Well,
yeah, he like went to religious.
Is this possible?
Well,
yes.
I'm not sure if it is or not.
That's the whole point. Like, I don't know if he's
shocking gay away.
Like that's the conspiracy.
Was it a Q conspiracy?
Not even like a real conspiracy. He's probably still gay, and that's why he's probably okay with her being a thought on the internet.
Yeah, I wonder if she has an OnlyFans.
I don't think she does, but I wonder, what she's doing on the side.
You know what? If she was, if she wanted to be really funny, what she should have done is gotten an OnlyFans, like, because she has this reputation for taking all those like risky pictures. She should have gotten an OnlyFans And then literally, like, because everybody would like shit on her for it, or people would like start simping and be like, "Oh my god, she's finally got one," and then they'd spend money, join it, and all it would be is just like pictures of fucking guns. You know, like there's one with the barrel smoking, like guns like all lined up, and she's like, "Yeah, sexy pictures," and then like you
I
get all these, and then she uses the money just to buy more guns.
You
Yeah.
know, now I'm not gonna lie, gun porn is hot. Like,
Dude,
you
what if
know.
she used her OnlyFans like to go and take back the shit meme? And she just puts a
Yeah.
picture of her shitting her pants on OnlyFans.
Well, she does that. What's the porn call? I'm not an expert on
Fart
this, but like
fetish,
the
shit
yeah,
fetish,
yeah, like that.
scat.
Yeah, the shit dash.
She goes into scat porn.
Yeah,
God, she
look, I'll post this in the chat.
Well,
I
well,
think she was doing this as a joke, but this is a deleted post from Instagram when I went and Googled uh about her husband.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, someone was telling me that he used to be from the gay camp. Like he was a reformed, like born again, not homosexual or something.
Dude, that's
I don't know how
weird.
true it is. I remember I've heard that repeated a bunch of times, but it's the internet and that could be false. That could be fake news. It's kind of a double standard too, because how many girls haven't done some bisexual shit at some point in their lives, and men don't even give a shit either. It's like, I'm talking about them double standards.
Joshua Rogers says Sam's feet need sucking before blue wrench.
Oh, maybe you gotta put that in your OnlyFans, Sam.
QAnon
Well,
when LARPers go viral, written by some trans person 2023. Vox Gay make a Q worship comic.
Where are you finding? Oh, there it is.
I'm in the chat, dude.
Wait, you're
Not our chat.
That's Vox Day. That's Owen's handler. So
oh boy, time to drink.
Yep, take a sip. Swig, sip. That's not gay. Take a sip.
Basic says it's fun to see recoil jiggle the butt. What can I say? Oh, referring to well, in all honesty, like Caitlyn Bennett doesn't even have that great of an ass. I'm sorry, but she.
No, Caitlyn Bennett's like a 6. I'm sorry.
She
Nah.
just like her body doesn't look so bad, but like her face is a little bit like,
But then when she opens up her mouth,
Yeah.
it's like I would like to meet her and see how she's like in person as a person, but I mean her videos are just cringe. She makes me cringe, and she makes us look bad. It's just god, it's painful.
I don't know. Like at least she does something. Though.
Look, I'll
like
give
she's
her
not
credit.
just.
Yeah, she has balls. Don't get me wrong.
No one's doubting that.
Cause saying that's a little hard in the current year and the context of her, but no, I mean seriously, like she does. I have to give her credit. Like she does shit that most people are like scared to do.
Yes, she does. I'm pretty scared of taking a shit in the dorms, like in my pants. But like to be fair though, like my God, you know how terrible that is. Like kind of happened to you once, and how you'll bring it up like all the fucking time on the internet. Like my God, like I give her like in all seriousness, just to deal with that shit every day by the left, like and then the right too. That's that does.
She actually made a good point right here. Because I'm gonna give you a little evidence to your point. She made a good point here. I'll give her credit on this one. She said on this was 2019. I received over 300 death and rape threats on my birthday because liberals can't hire an independent conservative woman that stands for her rights. There's a big violence problem on social media, but contrary to what big media will say, it isn't from conservatives. And she retweeted this today and said, since Apple, Google, and Amazon are taking down Parler because, quote, people promote violence, unquote, I suppose that means he'll be removing Twitter from the App Store next, right? Yeah, that's the exact point I've been making.
Just kick her off because they'll find some way to say that, like she violated the terms of service, like, shitting yourself and the dorm floor is a violation of the terms of service.
Uh-huh.
or whatever. She like with a gun, like she's making like that. They'll probably make something up like, oh, she made terrorist threats or some bullshit.
By the way,
Well, did
real quick, super chat from Sawson, $10. This chat got a super gay. Hail basic. Yeah, Sawson. Well, I mean, you've been around long enough to know that it's Saturday. It's been a serious week, so if the chat gets a little gay, it gets a little gay. What can I say?
You also need to be willing to let Sam pee on you. That's like, oh, Sam, is this this a motif?
Oh, have I? Oh, have I told?
golden shower?
Have I told? I haven't told you guys this story. Have I? So,
Anyway,
do you guys want to hear this story or no?
Yeah, let's hear about your piss tale.
So, about literally a week after I moved to Florida, I get this call from this chick I knew in high school, and I don't even know how she got my number. But she calls me, and she is piss drunk. I mean, just like I could tell even over the phone. And she like starts like being like, "Hey, Sam, can we get coffee?" Because like she's thinking I'm still in Denver, and I'm like, first off, how did you get my number? And second off, I moved to Florida over the summer, and like everyone knew that. Nah, you're still here in Denver. I know you are. And I'm like, nope, I'm here. Oh, well, can you come over? I'm like, okay. I'm like, again, I'm in Florida, but what do you need? And she's like, well, I really want. And then this is when it takes like just like a really weird turn. She's like, I want.
Hold on.
yeah, I didn't hear anything you said. Your mic cuts out a lot.
She says, I want to pee on your face, Daddy.
I think I get the gist of this.
Yeah, so yeah, I told that story on stream once, and yeah, that's been
should have done it. You should have done it, Sam.
I may be a degenerate, but I'm not that much of a degenerate.
I couldn't hear what you were saying again.
Yeah,
your mic cuts out a lot. I don't know if it's like the cables, the connection, but it doesn't sound like the connection, but it does cut out a lot. Maybe it's the distance you have it.
I said I might be a degenerate, but I'm not that much of a degenerate.
I don't know. Oh man, you should have it's an offer you can't refuse, am I right?
Drove all the way back up to Denver and been like, okay, I'll piss on your face, bitch.
What if she changes her mind once you get there?
That's the truth. That's probably what happened.
Well, more likely in today's, more likely with today, she would change her mind after the fact, too.
Well, how would that go? Like, unless you have, your, dildo chariot, like, how could that happen? Like, it'd be pretty difficult for someone to be like tied down. Like, unless you tied her down and pissed on her, I guess that could happen.
Have Apex tie her down, and you can like.
Oh
god, so it'd be like a gang like piss fest.
I love how I'm telling this story, and then simultaneously, you're looking at Caitlin Bennett. So, good.
God, what if
I was
Caitlin
checking out her Insta?
What would you do if Caitlin Bennett like fucking called you up and said, "Hey, I want you to piss on my face"?
I would be like, nope. Caitlin Bennett would probably want to shit on my chest more.
Oh god, she probably would.
That's actually a good comeback. Yo, see, this is what I love doing with these Instagrams of any like e-celeb or anything like that. So I love going back to before they were famous and seeing what the pictures were like.
Yes.
Wow. I'll have times changed. So this is from 282 weeks. I hate when Instagram does that. I don't know the fucking weeks. Okay, August 9th, 2015. She had a nose ring that looks really bad and quite a bit less makeup. And damn, she was skinny. I'm calling it now, but I think she had an eating disorder. Like, no joke.
Well, that's women for you. They either too big or too small.
What if
Some are just the right size. If you're watching
Maybe
Mel
he
for
was so
Life,
afraid that she would, defecate herself. She just decided not to eat, solve the problem.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's how you solve it. You just don't eat. Hey, you're worried about getting car crashes? Just don't drive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, she
Inside
didn't look
joke there.
pretty. Other than like the nose ring, she actually didn't look that bad.
She just looked anorexic. I'm not saying it's being mean, Caitlin. It's just how it looks.
I don't know, like
Just an observation.
she's, I don't know, man. Like at least with I don't know, anorexia. Is
It's pretty
anorexia
bad.
sexy?
Changed my mind. Oh god.
Well, she doesn't look that bad. Like you go take a look at her and take a look at her other friend, who I'm pretty sure, she looked
Her
like,
other friend.
if you found her and it was the 40s, you would have think she came from Germany.
Dude, do we live in 1940? Do we have swastikas on buildings?
Oh no, wait, you get what I'm saying? Like how anorexic she looked. She looked like she just took a, she just came out of a not so nice place.
I I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I that joke went right over my head. Oh god. Why the fuck am I still alive?
Oh my god.
She
That was
doesn't
a
look
good
as bad
joke.
as that lady did. Like I mean, she didn't look bad. Like she looked anorexic. She was crazy though. Like she was absolutely like bonkers, like nutty. I think that was like because when you have anxiety disorders, they prescribe you like meth, which that'd be. I'm surprised they don't do that for like weight loss. Fuck. Man, I had these pain pills one time, and I was like, I lost like 10 pounds that week. It's like, damn, they should like. I can see how people get addicted to this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, dude, this great weight loss pill.
What do you think the other person? Who's this other person that you're saying is anorexic?
You know who I'm talking about, the crazy girl.
Oh, the one we knew.
Yes.
Oh,
She doesn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Caitlyn doesn't look like she's in the same.
She does. Dude, you can see it.
Hey Sean, I just posted an article in news that I just saw pop up, and you're gonna wanna.
I'm gonna want to check this shit out. All right, let's see.
It's
Accused of. Oh,
yep.
I could see it. I could see it. The Lincoln Project is gay.
Married to Lincoln Project anti-Trump co-founder president accused of pressuring men for gay sex.
Oh God, Senator will have a field day of this because he hates the Lincoln Project. I mean, a lot of people
Whoa!
did, but he was calling them out for their like Russian collusion shit.
Yeah, they're full of shit. Like, who would you rather, like, which is worse to collude with, Russia or fucking big tech?
Big tech.
Yeah, that's where I'm at this point. Like,
who's more evil, the government or big tech?
Government, I think. Actually,
Big tech.
That's a good. That'd be a good debate.
Trick question. They're kind of one and the same now.
Yeah, it's like who's worth. Fuck. I don't know what I did there. Like Darth Vader, the fucking dude who's like the angry
Vader guy, or the Emperor.
Came later, that was like the cuck.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
that's a bad analogy because clearly. Well, no, it's not because they both kind of redeemed them, quote unquote, redeem themselves.
God, I didn't see that third movie, Sean. We know how to do this now.
Yes.
We have the technology.
We have the technology.
We discovered a fucking loophole in the system.
Well,
Yeah.
I have Disney Plus too, so one of these nights, let's curl on up and we need to watch that together.
Yeah, we have.
Oh
we
wait,
have the
mine
technology.
can't.
We know how to do this now. I think it fucking worked last night.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We can do it. One of these nights, get curling up, and we'll watch it together, and we'll have all the time.
Man, to watch a fucking Mandalorian.
Did you
point
guys
Yes.
did you guys say you guys were gonna curl up and watch, or
Oh
We
yeah, we're
literally
gonna get over there. We're gonna go and fucking curl up. We'll go over to his house and we're going to take Santa's sleigh, break into his house through the fucking chimney. You know, so go and say hi to him, and then curl up.
Full like a
fire.
project.
Get a nice, bottle of, what's something, fucking like wine or fucking wine coolers. 'Cause that's even more gay.
Box wine.
I'll actually get some fucking White Claw. But see that, for all that Phil was saying about the White Claw, like that's the funniest thing. Like fucking boogie boys, or whatever the fuck they call it. The Boogaloo boys, that was their drink. The White Claw.
It is.
Yeah, that's their thing. Like
That's
White
their
Claw and like
drink.
Hawaiian shirts. Yeah, they literally had like an ATFH go to someone's house and ask them if like they were seeing it, because this guy bought one of those like wish.com silencer things. And then they started basically like asking without asking if he was a Boogaloo boy. They were like, "Do you own a Hawaiian T-shirt? Are you a quote unquote member of the? Do you consider yourself a member of the Boogaloo movement? Do you drink White Claw?" Like they're asking him this shit. Saw that like one redneck guy's channel.
Was that the purity test?
Yeah, like they're trying to go and like bust him and like say he was like a terrorist or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of fucked up too. Like fucking Wish, man. You have to be careful. Like there's a lot of illegal shit on there, just like straight up fucking illegal.
Oh yeah.
Like they literally had like, full auto converters on there for like locks. They had silencer parts on there. Like you have to be like stocks for like things that'll turn your pistol into like a short barrel rifle or whatever. Like they have some really shady shit. Like don't trust that. Don't trust that website.
Isn't it Chinese?
Yeah. Fucking Wish is definitely Chinese, and they're just.
It says its headquarters are in San Francisco, but its founders are Chinese. It's kind of like Zoom. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're in America." Yeah, but you look at who really is fucking owning the shit. It's China.
Yepperoni.
Let's see, what's the chat saying? Tech is a benefactor and agent of rulers. Corporate Marxism. America's a weird situation, needs its own word. Technocrat, corporate oligarchs buying power from governments. Happens when governments exert control upon the indivisible hand of the free market. Making government use their programming. All these companies have been given offers that they can't refuse by the U.S. government. It's gonna get crazy.
yeah, well, it's already gotten crazy.
Yeah, we're living in crazy right now. It's just how much crazier it's gonna get. They're gaslighting people to fucking start shit at Inauguration Day.
We're living in Blade Runner now.
Yes,
And
dude, it's cyberpunk is the most relevant, accurate fucking dystopia because
When are we
literally
gonna
we're
get our
living in a
Johnny
world.
Silverhand to come in and drop, I don't want to spoil that, but
yeah, you can spoil it.
no, I don't
No,
want to do
don't.
that to Sean.
Yeah, Sean will get triggered. But no, I totally agree, dude. Like we're living in.
But Keanu.
Don't spoil it for him. That's like telling a kid that Santa Claus isn't real, or like teaching a kid
Santa's
that
Santa's not real. No.
Oh my god.
That kind of makes me think, like kids these days, they're not gonna know what the fuck's like. They're never gonna have Santa Claus because they have the fucking internet these days. Like, man, fucking children, man, that sucks for them. Like, Santa Claus was like the best guy to have coming in your house. Speaking of Santa Claus, do you see that fucking article? For, like, it was around Christmas time. It was like, if a black man came into your house, you wouldn't be happy.
What
It
the
had like a black Santa Claus on there.
I remember seeing that. That's
Where
so
the fuck is?
fucked up.
Where we have? And then we put someone posted that somewhere. Fucking find that shit. I want to find that fucking meme. It's like if black man broke into your house, it wouldn't be very merry. You wouldn't be very happy. You call the police. It's like no shit. If a fucking black man breaks in my house, I'm probably calling the police. If anyone breaks into my house, even if there is a fucking Santa Claus breaking in my house, like in all actuality, I'd be fucking calling the police. I don't care if it's fucking Obama breaking into my house. I'd still be pretty fucking peeved. If Trump broke into my house, I'd be pretty pissed, but I'd be like,
No, I would not be. I'd be like, based? Question mark.
I don't know, man. Like, that'd be a
my
tough
SIM
one.
check in person, my 2K.
Yeah, like oh my god, we need to have that. Just give me my fucking 2K sim check down the fucking chimney.
If Obama broke into my house, I'd be like, wait, Barry, why? Like, I'm pissed, but Barry, why are you even here, man? Like, don't you and Michael have somewhere to be?
Michael. Oh. You mean Michelle?
Nope. I mean Michael.
Oh god. It's funny on Twitter. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the trending hashtag all day was remove them all. Hashtag remove them all. People want all conservatives removed on Twitter.
Yes. Let's have them do that, because then we will get people to start going to fucking Gab.
Accelerationism.
Accelerationism shit. This is what'll fucking do.
Yep, that's the good type of accelerationism that we need. But guess what was trending this morning? Hang Mike Pence.
No
Isn't
comment.
that inciting violence?
Honestly, I'm kind of confused. Who's suggesting this? Is it the left or is it the right? Because I can see both parties. Like, you ever see that meme? It's like the one, like the black guy and the white guy in the arm. I mean, like, who's
arm? Yes, struggling.
It's like, who's suggesting this?
Well, it actually was. Well, see, this is where I would just use this to fuck with Twitter. But what it actually was is it was people saying, lefties saying that the right was calling for people to hang Mike Pence. So they were going and making a fuss like how violent the right is because they were saying they wanted to hang Mike Pence. So because they kept talking about that, it started trending. But here's the point. It's like Twitter acts like they don't give a shit about context because they removed Trump saying like, oh, he said he won't be at the inauguration, so he's inciting violence. It's not fucking in there.
That doesn't make it, like, my God, Twitter, like, at least if you're gonna come up with a bullshit excuse, like, do it better. Just say, hey, we just didn't like what was going on here, and after further consideration, like, I mean, I still think you're a piece of shit either way, and like, Jack Dorsey, like, fuck you, you're worse than like chlamydia, you're pretty bad. Like, you're probably up there with the coronavirus, honestly. Like, which would you rather have? Like, would you rather have the coronavirus or have Jack Dorsey in charge of Twitter?
Yes.
As someone who survived the coronavirus, I'd much rather have that than fucking Twitter the way it is.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, they don't give a shit about the context in Trump's tweets, but when it comes to hang Mike Pence, they just leave it there. That's fine.
Speaking of free speech, I dropped another link in the news section.
I saw that.
And I know it's the Daily Wire, but
yeah, not opening it.
Okay, fine.
Didn't we have somebody want to go and join the call or whatever?
Yeah, they
going on?
haven't done it yet.
Well, we can hang out.
You guys can join. Jump in anytime.
I pinned I pinned versus Discord in the chat for you guys. But anyway, so let me read this.
Thanks.
Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, a fierce Putin critic, blasts Twitter for censoring Trump. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny, a fierce critic of Russian President Vladimir Putin, slammed Twitter on Saturday for its censorship of President Donald Trump, calling the move unacceptable. So that's that's a big thing right there in and of itself. We have the big bad Russians are calling out Twitter for censoring Trump.
It's not even the Russian, that's the opposition leader, so that's
Yeah. That's anti-Putin.
it's not even Putin's like enemy.
Which, in theory, they should hate Trump, according to the left. Did you also see, and this is confirmed, I want to make that extremely clear, but this to me is actually crazy. This made me go, what? Again, it's not confirmed, but there's one article that claims from the International Business Times that Trump is going to be digitally removed from Home Alone 2 cameo scene after his Twitter ban.
Oh my god.
See, this is why you need to buy your fucking movies.
That is like the definite, exactly, Alex. Thank you. I'm actually gonna fucking buy the movie soon because I know I don't want to risk it because that'll be a valuable item, but that is the definition of like unperson, whatever the fuck it was called in 1984.
That's the
wait. Did they remove fucking Kevin Spacey? Like, did they digitally remove him from the House of Cards?
No, he's in everything he's always been. Still,
he's still. Dude, that would be like a big fucking problem if they remove him from The Usual Suspects, because that movie is, well, I don't want to spoil the plot for a 20-year-old movie, but suffice it to say, Kevin Spacey is a big part of that movie.
Well, dude, and then you want to get into that level, like, of, Stalinist, like, literal, like, purges of history. We're going to have, like, every movie, like, I still watch fucking movies and I see Harvey Weinstein's name in there. Why is it, Trump is somehow worse than this fucking monster? Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
It's so, like, yeah, I think it's unperson. Yeah, unperson. Like, I know the term Orwellian gets thrown around a lot, but this is the definition of Orwellian. Like, this is just, it's crazy. It's so fucking crazy that people are okay with this. That shows you how deranged the enemy is. They are not your friends. They are not people with different opinions. No. The people doing this are the enemy. I bet Twitter would say what I just said is a fucking inciting violence, and it's not. Like, we're really, I mean, I know we've talked about over the past few shows, but honestly, like, the times we're entering are extremely dark and dystopian. Like, it's literal Blade Runner meets V for Vendetta.
Yep.
I mean,
And we don't even have fucking flying cars yet like they have in Blade Runner. What the fuck? At the very least, we deserve those.
Yeah.
Now we're letting these fucking corporations take control, man. Sony needs to go to Arasaka's HQ. Sony needs to go Johnny Silverhand.
Yeah,
in the game.
I want Johnny. Hashtag bring back Johnny.
Yeah, bro. At least I'm sure you need a fucking Johnny Silverhand.
I have an idea of what he does in the game, so I don't want it spoiled still. I still don't want any spoilers, but I see why you're laughing at that, I think. I have an idea. Might have to do with the "we have a city to burn" comment.
The The Olives.
No spoilers.
The Olives. I have not read Brave New World. But I've watched Demolition Man, and that's
Mm,
we're in Demolition Man now.
yeah, and I've heard Michael Malice say that Brave New World is more or less what we're in. I need to read up on that shit because I think it'll be helpful.
I've
But
yeah, Brave New World is one of those books that, well, when I was in middle school, they made you either read like Fountainhead or night or like we could either read 1984 or Brave New World. I read 1984.
I was about to say if they give you the choice of Fountainhead or 1984, pick 1984 just because I know that fucking Ayn Rand loves to go and write like fucking 2 billion page books. Like they're almost as big as a stimulus
I
bill.
was gonna say, imagine trying to read that in school. Like, I don't know any school that would actually like be like, yeah, let's read a libertarian book.
Yeah, I
That
wish I had a school.
And then it's
mine
annoying page.
that was how mine was, though.
Dude, that's pretty badass. I wish
Well,
my
you're in
school-
Florida, that's why.
Well,
Oh,
no.
you bought
Well,
those before.
well, no. This was when I was growing up in Colorado, though. Dude, I fucking read it.
Oh shit.
I read Animal. I didn't read 1984, but I did read. I read Animal Farm.
Well, they had us do that in school too, but that wasn't like, you know, like I mean, sure you can make the argument, but it's not like written by some like crazy Russian like libertarian lady, you know.
Orwell was pretty fucking base, though. I mean,
I,
No, Orwell was actually a socialist.
he
is what the
actually
left
kind
guys
of
say.
like he's a weird thing. He got like red pilled on him, I think, after he fought on the losing side of the Spanish Civil War.
Really?
Yeah, he fought with me. It's like, oh shit.
you want to
I
know?
think
You
saw
want to know
Russia.
which dead author really was fucking based, though, was Ian Fleming, who wrote the James Bond novels. He
Really? How based was he? I'm curious.
I mean, like, base. I mean, like, he literally killed a bunch of Nazis, like, single handedly during the war. He was a code cracker, and then like after the war, he got like a house in Jamaica called Goldeneye, and basically like wrote books and banged hot chicks all day until he died. Of like
Damn, Chad.
of
I don't know if that's space, but it's definitely Chad.
Yeah, that is definitely Chad. Here's something else actually that I didn't know. This is a very, very good point somebody's making on Twitter. You guys know who Bill Ayers is?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah, they
of
made
course.
Penn State.
Yeah. Not only that, did you know that he bombed the Capitol building?
Yes, the Weather Underground.
That's
Oh.
right. So he bombed the U.S. Capitol building. So he actually attacked it, like an actual terrorist attack. And I don't know if he killed people, and he doesn't regret it.
There were yeah, he did. There were like police officers that actually like fucking died because of that bomb.
Okay, good.
Oh,
There we go.
that's really interesting.
No, here's the kicker though. So he bombed the Capitol, terrorist act, killed people. He's on Twitter still.
Well, he was also one of Barack Obama's political mentors too. But no one wants to mention that.
Yeah, I'll post this in the fucking checks. Like this is like the definition of like fucking bias and ideological censorship. And that's why, dude, guess who was doing a stream today and still doubling down saying that there's no fucking political bias against current conservatives with big
fucking,
tech.
a certain person who we need to go and kick out of our servers.
That's exactly who it was. He still is saying that. He's saying, no, Trump violated the terms of service.
Dude, fuck the terms of service.
Dude.
Like, I'm done with this libertarian bullshit. Like, if you're a libertarian in 2021, you need to go and evaluate your life decisions. Yeah, that's
Grow
like if
up.
you're 50 years old, you're still working at Walmart. You need to reevaluate. You need to reevaluate your life decisions. Like same thing if you're fucking libertarian now. You guys are almost as bad as the Q people, honestly. Honestly, they're probably fucking worse because there's more of them. Like that's
Yeah.
okay. Which is worse, libertarians who vote libertarian and agree with this corporate bullshit, or Q people? Because I'm honestly starting to think it's because if we would have had less libertarian, like Trump could have fucking won if it wasn't for these that could have helped. If we picked up all the
That's why I always bring them up is because it's like these guys could make or break elections depending on the state and what race it is. Like I remember the one that what's his face lost, the creepy guy on the horse in Alabama.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah. If the
Yeehaw!
if the people that voted libertarian all voted for him or they voted for third party, whatever the fuck it was, he would have won. That just tells you. That's why the left loves libertarians because they can split the vote for them. They don't split the Democrat vote. No, they always split the Republican vote. So it's like, I'm so done with these sort of people. Yeah, I mean, honestly though, what is worse, Q or libertarianism?
Libertarianism.
At least the Q people, they're thinking on the right, like general path. Anti-globalism, pro-Trump, fuck the Dems, fuck the establishment rhinos. Like they're thinking at least along the wrong path. Just they go down other broken paths. They go into like some dark forest. They don't make it to grandma's home. I'd actually say the libertarians are worse.
Yeah, I agree. Libertarians are much worse.
The Olives in the chat.
Like a pedophile or something. I'm seeing a guy in the chat who's this Destiny guy. I thought he's a pedophile or something. Like he's defending sex with kids or something. I remember hearing about this guy. He's
Oh, Destiny. Yeah, he did. He's done a lot of debates between people on the right. He did something recently where he did a IRL debate with Milo that was actually pretty good about big tech. But I generally don't like him because he's pretty annoying and condescending and brings up stupid points.
Yeah, probably bangs children. I don't know. Yeah, see, I don't care if you're voting for the straw polls or you're helping out in the primaries. Like, I don't give a fuck about that. But if you're in the general election, and you're voting libertarian, you're pretty fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I campaigned for Rand Paul but voted for Trump. Good. You did the right thing, which is you voted for Trump.
Yeah, you can have your principles, but you can still not be a fucking idiot,
Yes.
Yep.
Not mutually exclusive.
Practically principled. Of course, at the same time, like, I'm not saying that we should think this way, but let's be real. Everybody has their principles until, they don't. If you know what I mean? Like, until they have to do what they have to do, that's like, they'll violate their principles if they need to, so what's the point in having principles? I think personally the point of having principles is to have a moral compass. To keep your head straight. When push comes to shove and you have to do things for a greater good, do it. But just have some sort of guidance in your heart to keep you on the right path. Because honestly, at heart, I guess I'd say I'm like I'm a populist. I'm an America First MAGA guy, but I'm also a classical liberal type person, where I'm like, hey, I would love for everybody to live and let live. But right now, gotta clean some shit up. Right now, we gotta regulate big tech. Right now, we gotta do X, Y, and Z. So I think that's when people are like, oh, a few years ago you were saying how great capitalism and free markets are. I'm like, I love free markets, but capitalism needs some fixing right now. It's gotten out of control.
This what we have right now is not capitalism.
Exactly.
It's corporatism, is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, when the fucking government and companies go and have a fucking love affair, you get what the fucking U.S. government is at this point, like the corporate structure. That's where we are at.
Well, look too. Another example actually of all this is they're really going after the walk away guy. He just lost his MailChimp and something else today. He's basically losing his email
Yeah, what the
service.
fuck did he even do?
Nothing. He's probably the most, and I'm not saying this in a negative way. It's part of his appeal. It's really powerful. Is he's one of the most like moderate, open, sweetest, nicest guys ever, and his
And
movement's the same thing. It's very, I don't want to say milk toast, but it's very just, center. You know
well,
what I mean?
and that's honestly my point with a lot of this is like, okay, like Jeff was saying earlier to me on Twitter, he was saying stuff like, well, Sam, you'll never be in trouble because you don't violate the TOS of YouTube and you're a pretty, moderate to nice guy. And I'm like, it doesn't matter at this point. It really doesn't at all.
They can look at anything you've ever said, Sam, and they can
Exactly.
find some way to say it incites violence. So they did with Trump. I mean, like they even didn't. This is the thing they said with him. They said They basically said there's a chance he could incite future violence with his. I'm not
Oh
going to the
man.
inauguration.
Yep. That's where we're at
Oh,
now.
man.
I'll pull it up so I can get the exact terminology, but like this whole, because that was Hunter's point too, is like, well, all these concerns violate the terms of services. No, they fucking didn't. They only did because they said they did. They looked for violations, or they looked at things in a way that they could say violated their terms of services because they're so fucking vague. Look at Twitter's hate speech policies. It's so, first of all, the term hate speech is by definition fucking vague. It's something so ridiculous
Yep.
that anything can
Well,
be
thing
hate
is,
speech.
they'll get you for fucking off-platform behavior now. Like that's the most fucking stupid thing I've ever seen. Like, what did the Trump?
That's a good point because
What did the
one of
Trump team
things
do? Like
they
to
always
get
say is
or
that-
get kicked off of Shopify? Like how they violate that term of service? I'd love to hear that.
Well, this
yeah, because that's
also.
what they've been saying, like with Richard Spencer and other people like that, or Louis Farrakhan was another one. I think they'd say they'd be like, yeah, they're a hateful people, but they haven't said anything on the website that violates the terms of service. It's like literally they've gone 180 on that with Trump. They're like, because of what, and other people, I should be more specific, like Straka, because of things that have happened outside of Twitter, we have to ban you all.
Yep.
Even though they're saying parlors where all this stuff festered.
Yeah, no, see, this is what makes people radical. You want to go and
Exactly.
see what's causing this divide, what's radicalized America. This shit right here.
Yep.
Sooner or later,
Totally.
like Twitter's inciting violence at this point. Like I'm convinced they are inciting violence.
Yes.
They want people to go and go do bad things to go
Well,
make them look bad. Because honestly,
I
they're
know
putting
that
people in a fuck.
I know that you guys aren't big Tim Pool fans, but
No,
he-
I liked him.
Oh, yeah, I liked him too. He said on his podcast last night that when he was on Joe Rogan's podcast with Jack Dorsey, and I pulled this up just to double check, but Tim did say to Jack that if you keep banning people, something awful is going to happen in the future. And lo and behold,
He was right.
it did. I mean, say what you will about Q. I'm not a big fan, but I feel like a lot of their paranoia was spurred on by all these big tech bans, and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what happens, look, the ACLU says this, free speech people say this all the time, and I say it all the time. When you ban speech, when you ban people, they go underground. They become
Yep.
echo chambers, and it radicalizes them more. They're not hearing different opinions. They're not having conversations. They're not having debates. You're literally closing their minds. It's so destructive.
And
I That's why I really, as much as I want Gab to succeed, I it's really a catch-22 because it's in a way, as much as it's giving the right a platform, it's giving fucking a bigger echo chamber.
yeah,
You know?
that's all it is. And that's what I was trying to tell Jeff, because he was saying that, because I was saying, well, Jeff, I have people on the show who are controversial on both the left and the right. And he's like, well, you're giving them a platform. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing that you're giving hate speech a platform.
I
Because
hate that.
if that were the case, then CBS News was giving Charles Manson a platform back in the 80s when they were interviewing him from jail.
Dude, fucking CNN gives Richard Spencer a platform more than like fucking Gab does.
Exactly. That's my point. Interviewing someone, and trying to figure out, and letting them kind of expose themselves, and talking to them and trying to have a conversation with them is not the same as endorsing someone. So quote unquote giving a platform to someone is not the same as endorsing them. I'm sorry, Jeff, but it's not, if you're listening to this.
Exactly. I know. And like, look, I know I've talked about my org. I really hope we start up in the fall, because we're gonna fucking need it as a nation, honestly. But that's the hope of what I want to do, is bring conversations back that aren't being had, to bring speakers back that aren't being brought back. And the one thing you run into the risk of things is, like, especially with free speech, is there's going to come a scenario where somebody's going to say, can we have Richard Spencer come to our campus? Can we have Nick Fuentes come to our campus? Can we have Alex Jones come to our campus? Obviously all those people are different people. I'm not trying to lump them in together, but they're controversial, very controversial. And
yes,
you can,
all
by association, come. They'll say, Uncensored America hosts a conspiracy theorist. Uncensored America hosts a far-right groiper. Uncensored America hosts a white supremacist. You're going to see that. My personal philosophy is, you should be able to host whoever the fuck you want. Every single one of them, because guess what? You can debate them. You can ask them questions. You can even minor heckling of them. That's how it should be. That is what it's supposed to be, and that's what I want to bring back, because it's not there.
Well, no, fucking Penn State said that too. I'd be like, yeah, you also brought a known domestic terrorist over here who's killed people, so.
Exactly. It's like, look, you should be able to bring whoever you want. You don't have to agree with them at all, but you can still bring them. Like, remember back in the days, like, when these news channels used to bring fucking David Duke on?
Yep.
Do you think they could do that now? I mean, CNN could. But look, you should be allowed to do that and debate him, and that be an okay thing.
Yeah, bring on whoever the fuck you want to bring on. It's your fucking show.
Yeah. And then look, yeah, like you said, fucking Penn State brought a domestic terrorist. I mean, the bar is a little low,
Yeah, we should demand. Someone should go start a petition to demand that Penn State apologize for bringing a domestic terrorist over to Penn State if they say anything about Trump.
You know what we should do, actually? I thought of a good idea. You could do that too. Demand they disavow Bill Ayers. You know what you could do is, like, let's say, like, we want to bring Alex Jones to Penn State, just as a hypothetical, and they're giving you shit for it.
Oh my
Twist
God.
it.
So
you can twist it,
guys,
and then say, we're gonna bring a second speaker. We're gonna bring Bill Ayers. Have them work with the mental gymnastics of that.
Oh my god, that'd be fun.
So, guys, sorry, breaking news, sorry to interrupt, but apparently, from what I'm seeing in one of my Signal chats, Lindsey Graham is now declaring his support for reforming Section 230. But,
It's a little bit too late on that, bud.
yep, that's
Yeah.
what I was about to say. Funny, one of my friends, Josh Johnson, says funny how he waits till he has no power to say that. Yep, exactly. And I'm sorry, but to the Republicans who are just now waking up to this, it's too fucking late. You had
Yeah.
four. You
Because a
had
lot of people are Yeah.
you had 4 years to figure this out. 4 years, 2 at the very least. But you waited until literally the last minute to.
Why are we using Section 230? By the way, that does like the easiest way for me would be to go with anti-monopolistic monopoly laws with trust lawsuits. That
Well,
would seem to be the easiest.
well, yeah, that would be my solution too. That would be my solution too. But you know, people don't think of that. I mean, Section 230 would be better than nothing, but it's not going to happen. It's not.
Well, the thing with Section 230 is you start attacking that, that has potential. That doesn't just affect Facebook, Twitter, and Amazon. That affects places like 4chan and 8chan, all these other places too. Like that. That's my concern. Is it can end up, you know, causing extra problems versus monopoly laws that would strictly target the big tech companies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing I have to say is like I see a lot of people saying like, "Oh, Trump could have fixed this, but he didn't." What could he have done? To me, the blame should be fixed on or focused on the the congressional Republicans because they were the ones that could have passed things, but they didn't in the 2 years they had control of the House, and they didn't. Even when Trump would ask them to do stuff like, "Hey, can we build the wall?" they wouldn't do it. You gotta put the aim where it's deserved. And I think people are trying to be contrarian and edgy by being right wing and like calling out Trump. And they're trying to be consistent. To me, the more logical thing is simply where are the Republicans in Congress? They're the ones that make the laws. Trump doesn't do that. And if he did an executive order,
Mm-hmm.
fucking Biden would have gotten rid of it. Or future Dem. It comes from Congress, people. Like, this is fucking civics. I mean, they're the ones to blame, not Trump. Because he has pleaded for everything. And they give him tax cuts, failure to repeal and replace Obamacare, and they moved the capital in or the embassy to Jerusalem. That's what they gave him.
Honestly, like, what's the point? Like, the president really doesn't have that much power.
He has
It's
no
Congress.
power.
Yeah, Congress is the one that has the majority of the decision making abilities, comparatively. But they keep going after Trump for stuff which like no president can really promise all that much. It all depends on Congress's ability to get their shit together.
Exactly. And when you have control of it, it's like, guys, we could have done this, but you didn't. I don't want to hear any congressional Republican bitching and complaining about this. You could have done it. And even, and look, if you don't think I'm wrong that Trump didn't want this shit, he threw the Section 230 stuff in the fucking bill, the last bill, and they wouldn't do it. This isn't Trump's fault. This is Congress. And you need to start blaming them, naming them, and shaming them for it so that we can get them to eventually do this shit. You need to bully them into like complying. And when you keep blaming Trump, it's the energy's in the wrong place. Like, to me, it's stupid and counterproductive. That's my rant.
Well, maybe you should follow the plan.
I'm gonna trust the plan, right, Q?
Trust the actual plan, not this bullshit.
Yeah.
It's just it's honestly, and I'm
Well,
not.
see,
I'm
guys, according to Q, Trump never conceded. So, he's
Oh,
actually in Texas right now talking to the army. He's trust the plan, follow the plan. I think the stars are aligning correctly.
I hate Q. I'm like Alex when he was like flipping off at that guy about Q. Like that's how I feel. I hate Q so much.
well. That's been how I've been for the last like 2 years, though. Honestly, like I
You were ahead of
said,
me on that one.
because these idiots kept emailing me, and I was like, what? And I was like, what the fuck? What are you guys? Can you guys please give me a consistent answer for what you guys are? And none of them could.
They're retarded. That's the answer.
And
They are.
yeah, they are retarded. But see, this is the thing. When you have a group that can't give you a consistent answer, that's when you know you have a problem. Like, okay, the Tea Party. People in the Tea Party can, even though that's no longer around, but like if you
Did it evolve? Is it like a?
It evolved. The
It's
Tea
like
Party
a
was a
Charmander
popular
evolves into
thing.
fucking, the other one, the Charmeleon or whatever, and then Trump's like the fucking Charizard, the
Well,
MAGA move.
okay, yeah. Point being though is like the Tea Party or the MAGA movement. Like you ask a MAGA supporter what "Make America Great Again" is all about, the answer is pretty consistent across the board. It's about less government, nationalism, populism.
Mhm.
You ask Q what it's all about. Oh, it's about military intelligence or space wizards or,
The
uh,
shamans, Native American war dances.
That's what Alex said.
Trump
He
is
mocked him saying, like, what are you gonna do, a Native American fucking dance?
well, the best one I have seen is Trump is literally the second coming of Jesus.
Dude, Trump needs to go tell these people at some point, like, you're fucking no, no. Like, this is what happens when you weaponize autism. Sometimes it backfires. Like I
It's too
think that's
much
what happened.
power.
That's
Yeah,
what happened every year. If you don't, you weaponize the autism, it can spread out and it can go into like just general autism, and that's what Q is. It's a devolution.
Autism evolved.
Yeah,
Weaponized autism evolved.
it's not even its final form.
That's what's scary, honestly. Because see, here, think of this too. Because look, I think the important thing people need to remember is that everybody's getting more extreme, and it's always a dangerous thing. Even if it is what needs to happen, it's a dangerous thing because these Q fuckers are going to get more extreme. I don't know what that's going to look like. Christian Rosenkrautz in the chat says, in our chat, actually, first comment in our chat, there we go. Thank you, sir. He says, get ready for the next government-sponsored PSYOP, the American Spring. Oh, like the Arab Spring, but in America, I guess. I can
I
see
mean,
it.
you don't have to do too much. Like, just literally, like, tell Q people that, like, there's pizza hidden in, like, Biden's basement, and they go and, like, storm his house. Like, they're fucking stupid. Like, you could probably tell some of these people that shit. They would end up, like, making everyone else look bad.
well,
That is what actually scares me about Q, because I will say, I know it kind of disagreed with you on this yesterday, Sam, where I said these Q people are harmless, they're not being gaslit. They're getting gaslit, like over the past, I guess you could say, like a few months maybe.
Oh, but they're not harmless either. I mean, they're harmless physically, but think of the damage that they did to the entire MAGA movement just due to that stunt.
See, I think that now that I don't know, like this is such a weird thing because everyone's banning people now. People are like, well, hold up, this is real. Like this conservative stuff is. I almost feel like that was, in some weird, stupid fucking way, that might have actually been benefit. Like it's accelerationism that might have actually fucking worked. Like in some bizarre.
Let's think of it this way. Let's think of it this way to answer this question here, because you both bring up, I think, valid points. I think the best way to think about it is if there was no storming of the Capitol, would we have seen the bands we've seen right now?
No,
What about after Inauguration Day?
it would have been a slow. Like I think Trump maybe at some point, like after inauguration, I think that's when he would have
If
done it.
if Trump would have gotten banned after Inauguration Day, I think people would have been pissed. But I think people would have been. I think because okay, I think we were all expecting Trump to get banned off Twitter. At least I was. But
Yeah.
I was thinking that they were going to do after inauguration, after uh, Biden was sitting pretty. That was kind of what I was thinking. The fact that they just went ahead and did it while he's still the sitting president of the United States, however quote unquote unpopular end quote he may be, he's still the president. So yeah, I mean, corporate America just they just decapitated the sitting president of the United States on Twitter.
I think, see, I kind of agree with Alex at the end of the day on this because he is right. This incident accelerated things. While it's dangerous, look, accelerationism, no matter what it is dangerous because you're plunging into the deep end, the infested shark end of the pool, and it's going to be dangerous because it pushes things backwards to go forward, essentially. But I do think, because it's emotional, you gotta keep that in mind. We're all kind of emotionally filled. I think, though, this is what needs to happen. Because it seems like Republicans specifically, and I think it happens to Democrats, they need to lose badly. They need to get slapped in the face. They need to get thrown to the curb to then wake the fuck up and actually do something and actually win and actually be effective and actually fight for people that give a shit. And that's what I think comes out of this. But I am terrified of Inauguration Day because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. Are these
Yeah, me
Q people
neither.
gonna come back 10 times more radicalized? Yeah, I mean, what's gonna? I am so nervous for that day
Well,
because if something goes off, I think it will accelerate a little too much because if something bad happens, I mean, you're gonna see really scary stuff. That's when you see like the banks and credit cards coming down as hard as Twitter, which is, the banks and credit cards are gonna start coming down at some point, but they'll come down really hard before, you actually set up alternatives, you have other infrastructure in place or a
yep.
backup. That's a good thing we have now is we have some backups. We have backups for credit cards.
Well, and that's
There are local banks, like that's the thing. Like there's a lot of like local banks that most people don't
I
even
don't
pay
have
attention.
any local banks, dude.
not
It's all the big
neither
boys.
neither do I. I mean, there's like one local bank here, but I
And
can
how do you do payment over the internet? How do you pay people how do you buy
exactly.
shit online?
Well,
Like,
they still do have Bitcoin.
yeah, most people don't understand that. Do you
I
think
know
new
maybe that's
people
not
are gonna
fucking
understand Bitcoin?
understand it. Well, we have a few weeks before inauguration.
Yeah, look, Bitcoin would be the backup. We need to figure that shit out, a very user-friendly way to do that because
Well, bit
I'm really scared of Inauguration Day. I am really scared because everything's getting gaslit to the max.
well, and this again, this is why I keep telling people like stay home. If you're
Yep,
listening,
stay home.
if you're listening to this broadcast, like don't accept any Facebook invites to any like MAGA rallies or pro like patriot rallies or anything like that. Just stay the fuck at home until after the inauguration. Like like go to a local restaurant or do whatever you have to do. I'm not saying don't go out at all, but don't be going to any political events. You know until at until after this shit blows over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I'm actually gonna post show my Facebook because I know people that went down on January 6th. I have to do a fucking PSA. So like, it's just, I mean, everybody's got to do like encourage people to stay home because we cannot have a repeat or worse. I mean, I personally, I tend to think nothing's gonna happen, but I'm
No,
nervous.
man. With what they're doing now, especially if they impeach Trump,
Oh
that's
God.
on them at that point.
Yeah, but I also feel like that's what they want. Like, I
That's
honestly think
exactly
that
what they want.
I
It's all
honestly
part of their
think
plan.
I honestly think that Pelosi is such a bitch that she's the one drafting up all these impeachment things, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you,
No, it's actually the squad. It was Ilhan Omar that introduced the first one, and then Ted Lieu and somebody else introduced like
well,
revisions. But Pelosi has said if we don't
okay,
do 25th Amendment, we're doing impeachment.
well, yeah, but I mean, they're all okay. So basically, the same old gang of evil motherfuckers out there. And yeah, sorry for all the swear words, but I don't give a shit at this point. The gang of evil motherfuckers out there, they want chaos on inauguration day. I'm I'm not the one inciting violence, but they are. And
Yeah.
and that's why I'm saying, if they do this, we're gonna get more LARPy QAnon people who are gonna be like, oh, let me cosplay as like the Great White Buffalo, or MAGA man, or some shit like that. Let me go out there and spread freedom. Fuck yeah, and and they're going to do the same shit that got. I mean, here's the bottom line. I, you know, just stay at home, because if you don't, the rest of us will get fucking lumped in with you guys, and then all the fucking normies out there will think we're QAnon when we have no
I
idea
think
what
that already
QAnon is.
I think that's already happened at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You're already being lumped in.
Well, yeah, but it's going
Well,
to.
look at even Cernovich. He said 90% of people on the right are Q people, pretty much. I like Cernovich, but that's very inaccurate, and I think a lot of
No,
people are thinking that.
more like the opposite. Like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe 10% is Q. Maybe I'm putting it more like around 5.
At 10%, you're talking about millions of people. I see there maybe being like a couple thousand,
Okay,
Yeah, it's a little more than that.
yeah. Well,
maybe like, but like 75 million Trump voters.
well, like I, well,
I
like
mean,
I'm, well, like I'm saying, 3 to 5%. Is what I'm going with. 10% if I'm being if I'm being
Yeah,
super
I agree.
generous.
So you're saying there's 7 million QAnon supporters potentially.
If we're going with like 3 to 5%, maybe. Again, I'm being super generous.
I don't know about that. I doubt there's more. I doubt there's more than 500, more than like 200,000. I think 200.
So
I think much more than that. I doubt it. I seriously doubt that.
so more like 1% or less than is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think there's probably around maybe 200,000.
Let's put
Maybe.
it this way. Or what was it, like 3% of the population or less than that vote for Joe Jurgensen? Have you found more Jurgensen people in your life or Q people?
Jurgensen.
I've
I'll see how that's a loaded question too,
I know.
because
Yeah.
that just means you associate more with these people.
well,
Well, no. That's my point. Is I'm trying to gauge it.
yeah.
Let me
I
actually
doubt-
check. Let me check the number before I go any further. So Jurgensen got 1.2% of the vote, and that's about 2 million people. So I'm just gonna do, for rough math's sake, 1.5% is 2 million. 1.5% of the voting population is 2 million.
See, this is what they need to be paying people to ask for, like these stupid polls. Like I'll do those polls all the time. I've never heard anything about QAnon.
Yeah.
Like
Dude,
what are
like-
these people doing? I need to see this shit.
Like Q again, I don't think people realize just how fucking fringe it is. I mean, look, even say actually here's something that here we have fucking experts on Q from the Times of Israel claiming QAnon an old form of anti-Semitism in a new package, say experts.
No,
Well-
it's not anti-Semitism. They're probably more pro-Israel than Jews themselves.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean the problem with I mean, uh, yeah. Oh boy, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole because people will misperceive it, but basically like, but basically like the whole it's anti-Semitic thing has been like so overblown. Like, no, QAnon is fucking stupid, but I'm not sure it's anti-Semitism.
No, well, they think the word globalist means Jews, which is totally false. Like,
No.
it just means elitists that want a world government or want, more globalization. And this is one thing I don't know about you that I've kind of felt personally that's gone away over the past few days. I know the media wants this to happen, but is it me or have the racial divides kind of gone away? And it's more about left versus right,
Well,
elite,
Biden's
establishment
trying to bring that
versus the people.
Biden's trying to bring that back. It's like, oh, if these are black guys, you know what they need to do? If someone were to peacefully protest, it would be really ironic if it was like, blacks for Trump or something. Because then that would be so funny.
What
Like,
would they do?
Like it would make them go through hoops to go and like say, oh well, these people they're this is because of white privilege. Well, that doesn't work if you're not white. I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm saying that would be a hell of an irony if, like, let's say this happened again, and then it was just like black Trump supporters. That'd be very ironic.
I know. I'd be like, dude, you want to talk about red pill that'll go down people's throats? Oof. Be a tough pill to swallow, no pun intended.
Yeah, like I really do wonder what their reaction would be.
Yep. Theology is right. Classism is back, and that is one thing where I will give Jeff credit in our podcast. He said it's not going to be a racial divide; it's going to be a class divide. So
Yes. No, yes. I saw him say it too, and I completely agree that because this is what I was just saying. Like, I feel like, at least for me and a lot of conservatives and maybe people as a whole, because there were very big racial divisions because of the Black Lives Matter rights and shit like that, which I hate racial divisions like you wouldn't believe. And it feels like because of this is what I love about populism and America First is it's all about the people versus the elite, versus the establishment. It doesn't care, as Steve Bannon says, about your race, your color, your creed, your gender orientation, religion, any of that shit. As long as you're an American, you love this country, and you love your neighbor, as long as they're not a dick, you're one of us. I mean, how can I not like you? I honestly, like, that's what this is all about. It's a struggle against the awful people who have power and want to fuck us all over for their benefit. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, it's that class divide of the people versus the establishment globalists. People need to figure out like a good name too for these people. You hear globalists, you hear establishment, you hear elite. There really hasn't been one good word for it.
Corpos.
See, even that one's like, it's only the corporations. There's like more than that.
The cucks.
The cucks. See, cucks doesn't have the class element to it. I think globalist may be the best one, even though a lot of people don't really understand it. I think globalist is the most accurate term.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking globalists, man. They're trying to get you.
What is this? Dude, this picture's epic. This is epic. Oh my god.
What is
I'm gonna
this?
post it in fucking general so everybody can see it. The fucking T pose.
Oh, Cyberpunk 2077.
Fucking T pose. Yeah, he'd fit right into Cyberpunk.
So what's been going on with the Proud Boys now? What's their scoop?
Oh, did you? Oh, I don't know if I posted that tweet. Yeah, I did from Jake Tapeworm. He yeah, I haven't heard much Proud Boys chatter, but let me post this in Hotline. I'll show on the screen. Look what Jake Tapper said about the fucking
Oh yeah,
people. He said,
oh yeah, I saw that earlier.
he said hate organizations involved in the U.S. Capitol riots per this report: Proud Boys, American Nationalist Party, American Guard, New Jersey European Heritage Association, and then in parentheses says white supremacists, Oath Keepers, in parentheses anti-government. This is my favorite. Nick Fuentes and his quote Groiper Army, and then NSC 131 neo Nazis.
I mean, look, you guys know I'm not a fan of the Groypers, especially considering what they did to you guys. But I don't think they're LARPers. They're not neo-Nazis.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, I think the Groypers are a very mixed bag. I think there's some that are just hyper nationalists, some that actually are white nationalists. I know because I literally know some
Well, yeah,
from some bad experiences that are some.
That's what I was gonna say. You guys know you know the Groypers better than I do.
Yeah, I honestly think it's like, I think Nick is probably the best one of all of them, and then the fan base is a bit more toxic than it.
Oh God, it's like everything, isn't it? It's like, yeah, the original thing wasn't so bad, but then you have the fan. It's like Harry Potter, man. It's like, oh, the movies are actually pretty good, but then you look at the fan base and they think they can like warp into Harry Potter realm to go fuck like, Draco Malfoy in the ass. Not even joking. That's a thing.
That's a thing. Oh God.
Well, those are Star Wars fans too. Star Wars fans are never happy.
Yep, that is so true. Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Except for the Mandalorian. We pretty much all universally enjoyed that.
I was gonna say that's a good point, actually.
Well,
and the original trilogy.
Well, and we also we love Gina Carano. Hail Gina Carano, actually.
Oh boy. You're gonna get the fucking treatment for that one, ain't you?
Yeah, you're inciting fascist violence with that.
Yeah, it's like hate speech right there, Sam.
Yeah.
Another Hellgate situation.
Hellgate. Well, if anything, I'm not inciting a hate speech. If anything, I'm inciting a massive fetish. If anything.
You're inciting a simp fest, a simp fans. Remember that term you came up with, Alex?
I remember that term. I remember it.
You remember the who we came up with?
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I have to remember that one particular individual. So like, God,
he shall not be named.
It's scary how many like high functioning like autistic people there are.
Oh, you think he's high functioning?
That aren't even like that. That aren't actually like high functioning. Like people that like literally, like, what happened, man? Is this vaccines? What is it?
It's libertarianism.
Yeah, it's like fucking. They should have had that in DARE class, like libertarianism. Not.
Dare to not be a libertarian.
That DARE class, man, that was something else. Like, man, you guys missed out.
No.
Well, yeah, my brother had it, but I don't. I did.
I had DARE in elementary school and middle school.
I remember that shit. Remember, I got like a tick on my leg. It was just crawling there. And I was like, what the fuck?
No. Actually, they could have brought up libertarianism because libertarians want to legalize all drugs because they're all fucking druggies. So they could have just said, hey kids, as long as you're not a libertarian, you won't do drugs. No, lesson over.
Dare to stay away from like stupid ideologies. Oh my god, we should like remake Dare, but instead of being like about drugs, be like Dare to resist QAnon and like fucking stupid shit on the internet.
Yes.
They should honestly have that in fucking schools, like how not to like fall victim to these like bullshit fucking armies.
They would take that the wrong way though, and they'd say like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Trump's an example."
Yeah, that's true.
Well, no, they kind of already had that in my high school, and like,
Oh,
all,
God.
well, and that was the thing. Like, all of it was all right wing propaganda. So, and yes, basic. I do dream of climbing Gina Carano. What of it?
Yeah, he says Sam dreams of climbing Gina like a tree.
Tell me more about this like misinformation class you had. That's actually pretty fucking awesome.
It's oh, dude, it was like I can't like it was my senior year and I had to take it, but also like I barely passed it, like because I was such a dick to the poor teacher. Like I'll admit, like she would bring up like examples of fake news, and I would just be like in the back, like purposely yawning. I would be like, so yeah. What about CNN? When are we gonna get to the part about CNN being fake news?
Wait, this was high school, right? This wasn't college.
No, this was like 2012, 2013, like.
Fuck me. I didn't have anything like that in my fucking school. First time hearing anything like this, honestly.
Well,
Same.
part of it was like because of the whole like. Part of it was because like in Denver, I guess there was like this whole thing of like the Aurora like movie theater shooting at the time. Like supposedly that guy was on internet conspiracy boards, and so they were terrified that like some senior was going to go on like some internet conspiracy, board and then like do something. But keep in mind at the time, like I've already started my show, like I've already had the Whitfield report, or at the time the Whitfield analysis for like a few years. So like I'm surprised honestly that I didn't get called out like personally for having a show.
Did they know about your show?
Oh yeah, everyone in the school knew about my show basically because like back in the day, I used to like roll on campus and like hand out like business cards with my show,
Chad.
on it. Like,
That's awesome.
Dude, I should have done that at Penn State. We should have been more aggressive.
you know what? And actually, now that they're kicking me off, now that they're kicking everyone off social media, like
That's what you gotta do.
maybe like.
That's Chris Chan tier shit right there. Just hand out like business cards to your fucking internet show. Like, oh yeah, that's like cool.
Hey, look at who's famous? Chris Chan.
That's
You
true.
had the right
He is
idea.
one of the most famous people, most well-documented individuals on the fucking planet is this fucking like medium functioning autistic guy in Virginia.
College kids today think. Basic says that college kids today think 9/11 happened in the 80s. Wait, Basic.
Well, didn't they like bomb like the World Trade Center, but survived in the 1980s? Like
Well,
there was some.
No,
There-
but
there was-
that was in 1993.
That's close enough to the 80s.
Yeah. Well, in your mind, maybe.
That's
But-
close enough.
Sorry, I'm a bit of like an 80s fanatic. So
Dude, the 70s were where it was at.
yeah,
60s, 70s, and 80s.
well, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, like look at the
Okay.
fucking cars they had over there, like early 70s, like in like late 60s.
Yes, that's the peak. Late 60s, early 70s.
And then after that, you got like your shit cars that look really cool, but they ran like shit, like the fucking Mustang too. It's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna make it look really cool. Let's go slower than like a dog's nutsack on a Saturday.
Oh, also, fuck, that made me think of something. I can't remember. God, why I hate when I forget shit. But I'm looking at this article from BBC, QAnon, what it is and where did it come from. And one of those Capitol people's like looking at the cops with a giant fucking Q shirt. I wonder how many of these people were actually Q people that were in the Capitol.
Well, that
Probably a few,
the
more than a couple.
How do we turn off Q in their brains? How do we de-radicalize them or
Trump needs to say to Q.
He needs to condemn Q, but
He
then
needs
say
to about Q say, hey guys, this Q thing. No, whoever's telling you this is feeding you lies.
no. But here's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, "Oh, Q wants Trump to say it. This is part of the plan." Trump's gonna condemn it so that he can but he really knows what's up. There's a code word in there. He's just doing it to save face. He's taking a hit for us guys.
Well, here's the thing that kind of it amuses me and yet it disgusts me at the same time. There are still Q people on Gab and Parlor that I've seen today that are like, it's okay, guys, trust the plan. Trump is still going to be in office.
Yeah, I hear that. I see it on Facebook or from a couple
It's
people.
it's like, guys, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, you guys want to get a history lesson on Q before we end the show? You want that?
Let's hear the Q.
Q history. What is it? At its heart, QAnon is a wide-ranging, completely unfounded theory. They didn't say conspiracy, they said theory. It says that President Trump is waging a secret war against elite Satan-worshipping pedophiles in the government, business, and the media. See, here's what's very tricky about that. There's a grain of truth to that.
Yeah.
But it's not as dramatic as they make it out. It's like, yeah, he's fighting pedophilia. Look at how many pedophiles that they've locked up and that they've caught, especially with ramping up border security. And do people like John Podesta have spirit cooking emails on their laptop, which is basically Satan worshipping rituals? And he's fighting against those people? Yes. But it's not this cabal, crazy, intricate secret warfare scheme. QAnon believers have speculated that this fight will lead to a day of reckoning where prominent people such as former president candidate Hillary Clinton will be arrested and executed. Executed? Okay, when's the last time you've ever executed somebody like that?
Nah, I shouldn't say that. Nah, never mind.
That's okay. But this is where it gets already really stupid. That's not gonna happen. She's not gonna get arrested. She's not gonna get executed. It's not gonna happen.
Well, see,
that's the base story, but there were so many. What?
God, I had a bad feeling fucking Q people try to kidnap her next.
Oh God!
And they were like, all the guys, and then you'll see that on the news, like, oh my God.
Well, that's where these people get these autistic ideas, like, oh, it's part of the plan. People
Q told me to do it. Q sent me.
Yeah, they're gonna say Q sent me, and they're gonna do it, and they're gonna think Trump's gonna pardon them, like it's part of the plan. He'll pardon us. When yeah, Trump's gonna pardon you for fucking trying to kidnap a politician. No.
Do you guys remember when Q was just Q from Star Trek: The Next Generation or Q from James Bond?
Yes, those were the good days.
Yeah,
back when that was still relevant.
What did you say, Alex? You cut out again.
I remember when Q was actually on fucking 8chan before it spread to Facebook. I still wonder how that jump happened. because that bewilders me. Like, because these boomers ain't gonna be going on to fucking 8chan themselves. Someone need to go and like bring it to them, and now it's like ingrained in their minds.
Oh my god, you should see the college Dems. Oh, I know what I was gonna mention. I should mention this before we go down further. Did you see that there was a post on Reddit on r/Penn State University that said ban the Penn State College Republicans?
Yeah, they should, because fuck those people.
Would it make a difference? I love how they're so scared of them. The most milquetoast, the weakest, wimpiest, quote unquote Republicans on campus. They tried to ban us when I was with Turning Point. Remember that?
Oh yeah. Well, like the college Republicans, they don't even support Trump, so like they're just gonna be eating their own.
I know, it's so stupid. Oh god.
Don't you go like see that's what I'm saying, man. Get people like ban Ben Shapiro.
I'm for it. I support it. It says, yeah, they said that Penn State pretends to care about minorities and LGBT students, yet lets a club, they said let, not lets, a club like the Penn State College Republicans continue to operate despite the Republican Party being hostile to minorities and LGBT students. Fucking hell. Everybody in that club is a clear danger to other students in the Penn State community. I am calling for Penn State to immediately shut down a group. How is everybody in that club a clear danger?
Dude, they fucking are. They're fucking corpos, man. They're fucking pieces of
So,
shit. Souls.
so Olive's brings up a good point. How did Alex Jones interview the shaman guy? Shouldn't he be in jail? That's 10 years federal.
I think
he was a listener.
What you call it, bail?
No. He got arrested today. He got arrested later. Like these people, like the one guy that's the Hawaiian Proud Boy dude, that's Milo's producer. He got arrested when he got back to Hawaii. And I think this dude got arrested when he went back home.
Oh god.
But he did get arrested.
None of them like did a shootout or anything. Like fucking Keyshawn he probably thought that the plan would go and save him. He would save him from jail time.
You should see the College of Dems Twitter. They're like fucking ecstatic right now. They said,
I bet they're just creaming themselves right now.
Dude, they're losing their minds. They said, first the spicy ones. They said 25th Amendment now. When Jake Corman said something, they said, you helped cause this, the Capitol riots. We won't forget the role we play in damaging our democracy anytime soon. Were any of Senator County Republicans or leadership involved in today's seditious acts? We deserve answers, and more importantly, our community deserves better. We retweet AOC saying impeach. And the last thing they said was Josh Hawley is an enemy of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Leave our votes alone. Fuck these people, man.
Use them to get rid of the CRs. Like that would be great.
Best party on campus, no more.
Dude, that's the most cringeworthy fucking like saying ever. It's like, oh, we're the best party. No, you're fucking not. Like your parties ever since I was like a junior, they went to shit. They went to fucking shit. Like holy crap, we used to actually have decent. Like that was one thing when I was there. They were at least. I could say they were a pretty damn good party. I don't know if they were the best, but they were pretty damn good when I was there. Like my senior year went to shit. Like you're crammed inside like a fucking sardine can. They didn't like when I went up there. They didn't even have fucking beer left. Like what? How do you have a fucking college party with like both the CDs and CRs without any fucking beer? All you have is fucking jungle juice, which is like fucking Vlad mixed with like piss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I do love it. You wanna know why I love this? Because I warned the previous administration and I warned the current administration, especially after our Sargon event. These people are your enemy. Do not work with them. They hate you. They'll grift off of you. They will use you. And I told them that. And I specifically told them that over an event where they were doing this like Takeout Tuesday during the summer during the pandemic, which had good intentions, and I think it's a good thing to do. But I know that's not what the college Dems want. They want their photo op, and that's it. They wouldn't buy shit. They would just use it for their own sake. Guess what they did? Just that. I fucking warned them. And I warned them that they want you gone. They hate you. And what do we have today? The Democrats calling for them to be banned.
Well, you
I
know that the
told
school won't
them.
actually do it, right?
No, they won't, and they can't by law and by their own code of conduct. Will they do it's a different thing. I personally think they won't, but I am so gleeful to see this because these people need to be woken the fuck up or told, hey, this isn't for you. You don't get it. Get out. Because I warned them. I'm like, guys, I've been through this shit. I know what these people are like. Wake up. Go home to mommy. As Trump would say.
Yeah, you know, like at one point in time, it's so funny. Like they were fucking edgy at one point. The CRs,
What?
they were fucking edgy. Like they did like fucking edgy shit. But that was like, I think they went too far. And
I know
then
what you're thinking of because they had to apologize for that.
yeah, and then I think ever since then they were like, yeah, they're dog with their tails between their legs.
Imagine when we bring the new club to campus and do like a fucking event. Dude, when we bring who we want to bring, they will lose their shit. And in these times when people are really losing their shit, oh my god.
It's implying that we're even gonna be fucking alive at that time. I don't even know, man.
I don't know either.
2021's proving to be a pretty damn good year.
Yeah,
I mean, like, see, they summoned Keck back in 2016, and he never left. You know, it's more chaos. Man, you don't summon Keck, and then forget about it. He's here, and I think he's staying with us for a while.
you're getting all esoteric on us.
I don't know, man. It's been pretty chaotic, like these past, 4
I
or
know.
5 years.
Yeah. It's been a crazy, transformative past 4 years. But let's continue down our history lesson of Q before we wind this shit out. In October 2017, an anonymous user posted a series of posts on the message board 4chan. The user signed off as Q and claimed they have a level of U.S. security approval known as a Q clearance.
This is a fucking troll. It was like yesterday when they were posting his fake fucking videos.
This might be the biggest, craziest, most successful troll operation ever. Really? Like, has there ever been a bigger troll?
They convinced CNN that the OK symbol is white power and that milk was racist. So, I mean,
Those are pretty good, but they got people to storm the fucking Capitol.
Trolling people. So, I mean, it's up there definitely.
Dude, they got people to storm the Capitol.
I mean, they got people fired from their jobs because they did the OK sign.
That's true. It's good competition. The message became known as Q drops or breadcrumbs. Oh god. Often written in cryptic language, peppered with slogans, pledges, and pro-Trump themes. Here's the "Don't tread on me" snake in a Q shape, and it says, "Where we go, no one go. Where we go, one we go all."
Yeah, where we go, where one of us goes, we all go, or something like that.
It's autistically phrased.
WW1 GTA or whatever the fucking heck.
GTA. It's WWG1 WGA. Sounds like a fucking radio station.
Okay, yeah. What I fucking like mine better.
I do too, actually. That's funny. If it had GTA, then I will laugh my ass off. It's like WWGTA 6.
Yes.
Nobody actually believes it, right?
At this
Actually,
point,
thousands do. The amount of traffic to mainstream social networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube has exploded since 2017. And indications of numbers have gone up further during the coronavirus pandemic. The big social media companies subsequently tightened their rules, took down QAnon content, and hundreds of Q-supporting accounts. Social media opinion polls indicated that there are at least hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people who believe in at least some of the bizarre theories offered up by Q. And its popularity has been diminished by events which would seem to debunk the whole thing. For instance, early Q drops focused on the investigation by Special Counsel Robert Mueller. QAnon supporters claim Mr. Mueller's inquiry into Russian interference was a very elaborate cover story for an investigation into pedophiles. When it concluded,
movie. So it's like a plot of like a fucking like shitty like unrealistic action movie, but it's fucking real.
Yes. Dude, ban Syria in the chat. www.wga1.wwga1.com. Ban. No Q shit in the chat.
Sirio, what the fuck, dude? I just gave you your wrench back, dude. What the?
What? It's not even a real website.
What the
Better
fuck?
not be.
What? Disavow. Sirio. What the fuck? I built Sirio. He's artificial intelligence. You're spreading Q shit now? Bad robot. Bad.
This isn't even Q. I'm looking for this. Is this that full acronym? Oh, I found the website.
Oh no.
I'm posting that he didn't post the full website. I got it.
Oh god, this is a fucking twisty line here.
Well, it's a.
I made it up for fuck's sake.
It's a troll.
Yeah, I know.
You made.
I felt you did. That's why I trolled you back, calling you.
No, Sierra. I know. I fucking know you made it up, dude. I'm just being dramatic and funny. So.
I'm gonna ban him anyway. Says true believers contend deliberate misinformation is sown in accused messages in their minds, making the conspiracy theory impossible to disprove. So true believers believe that there's deliberate misinformation sown into Q's messages. Are you guys hearing that right? That's some fucking mental gymnastics. What impact has it had? I'd love to know. Q supporters drive hashtags and co-coordinate abuse of perceived enemies. It's not just threatening messages online. Twitter says it took action against it for offline harm. A notable case in 2018, the Heavenly Man blocked a bridge over the Hoover Dam. Jesus Christ. Oh, here's the research. A Pew Research study in September of 2020 found that nearly half of Americans had heard of QAnon. Double the number from 6 months ago. Before. Of those who have heard of it, a fifth had a positive view of the movement. So a fifth of a half. What the fuck is that? That's like...
Oh,
so we'd
wow.
have to divide
so
a fifth by...
scary.
What was that?
Oh, wow. That's so scary. A fifth of a half. Wow.
So that means, what, a tenth of the population believes in Q?
If that.
1 in 10?
Yeah.
If that.
By the way...
And that's just saying they have a positive view, which really is a loaded fucking thing. Because if you say, hey, do you have a positive view of a group against pedophilia? We'd be like, yeah. And man, for many believers, QAnon forms the foundation of their support of President Trump. Dude, that's not fucking true. Maybe for the Q people, I think Q is like, I think Trump is like the gateway drug to Q. It's not the first thing. Mr. Trump has unwillingly or not retweeted Q supporters. Prior to his election, Eric posted a QAnon meme on Instagram. Outspoken Q supporter Marjorie Taylor Greene, yeah, I've heard of her, was elected to U.S. Congress in November. What? Is she really a Q supporter, like a vocal Q supporter?
I don't know. Maybe.
She's hot, I'll give her that.
I see their boomer website, though.
Fuck. What does it look like?
We might...
Videos just like on fish online.
Heads up, guys! I saw someone. I saw someone on Twitter. One of my followers might be jumping in to the Discord.
Nice.
I said that like an hour ago. Let's get them in here.
Yeah,
we don't have much time left.
Also, I think this is a parody account, but Pornhub update says breaking: Donald Trump has been banned from our platform.
From what?
I saw that. I think that's a fake account or a parody
it's
account.
A fake.
It's funny.
But I've been joking, but that is where we're gonna have to go. If shit doesn't change fast.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. You go in between your ass and titty banging, you see fucking Alex Jones exposing globalists.
well, that's exactly where I want to be. I want to be listed. I want to be listed in between the tits and the ass section. Robbie don't care. Yeah, the Discord link is pinned as the top comment in the live chat. So let me.
Nice.
So yeah.
Apparently, according to the New York Times, QAnon has become mainstream. QAnon's followers accused of murdering a mafia boss in New York last year. What? Wait, they killed a mafia boss? Fuck. Weaponized autism.
It feels like YouTube ads for those games. It was like level 1, like fucking mafioso. Level 30. Imagine that you got.
If they killed a mafia boss, that would actually be kind of based or. But yeah.
That's a base question mark right there. Then let's see, and another Q guy was arrested in April, accused of threatening to kill Joseph R. Biden Jr. Oh, the Democratic nominee. Okay. The FBI has warned that QAnon poses a potential domestic terror threat. Are you kidding me? Boomer horoscopes pose a security threat.
Yeah, and that's really what it is at the end of the day. It's a boomer. It's a horoscope for boomers.
Mm-hmm. So the New York Times definition of Q is that it's a set of conspiracy theories that allege falsely that the world is run by a cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles who are plotting against President Trump while operating a global child sex trafficking ring. See, they have a different definition. Like you said, nobody can define it. According to the QAnon lore, there's Q lore. There's fucking lore. Mr. Trump was recruited by top military generals to run for president in 2016 in order to break up his.
Said Owen Benjamin tried to poison my lasagna. That's how you're going to try and diss someone in a wheelchair? By saying that the wind blew them over? That's your slight jab at me, buddy? Nice try. Must be nice to try and make jokes like that. Found out about Owen Benjamin and the Unbearables. I can't remember exactly who told me about them. It might have been one of them who had reached out to me, actually. Long story short, in like March of 2018, I was looking to, of course, continue building the show, and I was looking for a group of networkers, kind of like-minded creative conservatives, and I was told about the Unbearables. I found out about Owen through the JRE podcast. To be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of him comedically. Like, I thought he was okay, but he wasn't, great. But I kind of liked what he was doing with the whole, anti-trans kids thing. That really spoke out to me. And in the beginning, the Unbearables seemed to be a great network. People who were doing creative stuff like art and design and podcasting and video production, parody, songs, musicianship, in the case of Chuck Boris, and just late night streams, which was how I met the original DZ guys. Of course, John Neary was my first interview for the brief period of time I was with the Bears. But here's the thing, Owen's not even a conservative. He's a fucking leftist, posing. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. How dare you? Owen is doing the shit that mass shooters do before they go out and do a school shooting. Here's my manifesto. We need to get rid of the weak people, and I'm not saying he's going to be the one to do this. An Australian man
murdered his wife with a pair of scissors, stabbed her in the chest.
This is a warning to the general public about Owen Benjamin. We've warned you.
How dare you?
Must be nice.
According to him, the goat urinated on him first, in front of Amy.
all this gay talk is pissing off my German Shepherd.
Hey folks, it's Sam again. So basically I had to cut the end of the live stream off of the episode because the caller Robbie came on the live stream and he said that we have to stand up against the establishment and that we need to assert ourselves against them, which I agree with to a point. We absolutely do need to stand up to the establishment and those that want to take our rights away. However, Robbie went on to say that we need to take action against them. And the way he said it, well, I interpreted it as taking physical action against them. And Robbie, if you're listening to this, I love you. I support I'm glad you support the show. I'm glad to have you as a listener. But taking physical action against our leaders is not what is needed right now. If they take action against us physically, then that may be another quest. Then that may be another, thing entirely. But, until then, like I said to Robbie on the call, I will not be the one to fire the first shot. I'm not taking physical action against them unless in self-defense, which I think is the best way of handling things. So, that's why the stream got cut off there at the end of this podcast. And if you're still listening to this podcast at this point, congratulations. I know we've been going long on the streams for the last couple days, but there's honestly so much to cover. But anyway, folks, I want to thank you so very much for tuning in to the Whitfield Report. I'll be back Thursday for another edition of the show, and hopefully things haven't gone to crap too much before then. I want to thank you for supporting the show. God bless. God save America. God, freedom, legacy in that order, and I will see you on the next episode of the podcast. Thank you very much, and God bless.